Wonderful morning. We're excited about it, and we're excited that you're awake and you're blessed by God. You have been gifted yet another day, and you have breath, you have your God. Go out there, shine, and take dominion. This is Wake Up Africa. My name is Koku Lumo.
And my name is Biadla. Welcome to the finest Wednesday morning.
Indeed.
Right? Because it's, okay, when you're born on Wednesday, they call you Koku or, yeah. Okay,
very much so, indeed.
That's
very
why I
special.
decided to twin with the winners.
Yeah.
That's okay, yeah. So take some winning spirit. Okay, all right, are you ready? Because today we're going to take you on a ride. It's going to be a roller coaster of all things good. Great discussions coming your way today. We're going to have the weather, and also we would be doing birthdays. Today we have a special birthday. We can wait to say it. And the Love Doctors series is amazing. Yesterday I had amazing, feedback from, some of our viewers, and I'm like, we're doing great. It's Wake Up Africa, right? So you don't want to miss that session, Koku.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coming up as well, we are touching base with money, the issues of money. We're still talking marriage. And so in between that, we're going to be talking about all the related issues. Remember to always join the conversation. It is your show. Make it your show. We're building a constituency. And so make sure that you follow us on all our socials, from Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube and X, right? You can also follow our live stream. That's where we're streaming. Drop your comments, your submissions, your questions. We'll share with the world, of course, share with our guests. We'll get feedback for you. Very, very, very good feedbacks in real time.
Great. So we should be having new state-based, just to keep you informed on local news and international news. But however, we settle now for the weather. In the voice of Koku, let's settle for the weather. And then would, start the roller coaster like that.
Indeed. Welcome to the show.
Okay, time for us to get into the weather to know what's going to be happening today in Ghana and, if possible, some other parts of Africa. And the weather prophet is ever ready. Good morning, Mr. Solomon.
Good morning, the precious one.
How are we?
Oh, we are doing good by God's grace.
Amazing, great. So take us away. What's God planning for us?
Thank you very much. And let me first greet our church viewers and listeners of Dominion TV this morning. We are in the middle of the working week, Wednesday, 12 days into the month of February 2025. And we are looking at the weather for today over the entire country. And the Harmattan is still in its relaxation mode in the middle sectors of the country. Hence, it will be partly cloudy and misty along the coastal belt this morning, and the middle sectors also this morning. Sunny in the afternoon with no major rain activities across all sectors, except few areas within the western south and north of the country late afternoon into the evening before after 5 p.m., where slight to moderate rain activities may occur. Like yesterday, the coastal belt of Côte d'Ivoire, especially Abidjan, is where the rains will begin. It will begin and will have a major benefit, will be the major beneficiary of the tender rain today. Abidjan, the coastal belt of Côte d'Ivoire, and part of the coastal belt of that area, Abidjan will be the main major beneficiary of the tender rain today. Meanwhile, the northern parts of the West African countries, including Ghana, will continue to experience the harmattan throughout the day. The state of the sea will be rough today, so workers along and on the sea should take precautionary measures to avoid any inconveniences. Temperatures will range from 24 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius along the coastal belt, 23 degrees Celsius to 36 degrees Celsius. In the middle sectors, 20 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius in the afternoon in the transition belt, and 23 degrees Celsius to 39 degrees Celsius across the northern sectors of the country. So today, there wouldn't be any major activities in terms of rain, apart from western south and western north areas. If if conditions become favorable, it will expand to parts of central and greater Accra areas. Few areas may experience rains over there. However, the main beneficiaries of the rains will be the western north and western south areas of the country. This is how the weather will fare for us for the next 24 hours over the entire country. However, I will keep you updated with any changes for viewers and listeners to be very much aware. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much for that report. So you know what to do. Hamatan is a little relaxed, but the sun is actually working. So you should plan your day accordingly. And those, along the coastal areas, you should be ready for some kind of rough weathers. And those going fishing and all of that, you should also know that there might be some sort of rough patches whilst you fish. But we'll definitely have a good day, right? Okay, thank you so much, Weather Prophet. Yeah. How about we get on to some news? Feed you with some local and international news. Oh, let's get on with birthdays now. Okay, so it's Wednesday and it's some people's birthdays, and so how about we do birthdays, right? Yeah, birthdays.
Yeah, it's your birthday. It's your day, one day out of 365. It's your day, one day out of 365. Happy birthday, woo, to you. Happy birthday, yeah, to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, yeah, it's your birthday. It's your day, one day out of 365. It's your day, one day out of 365. Happy birthday, woo, to you. Happy birthday, yeah, to you. Happy birthday to you. You got a happy birthday, happy birthday, oh yeah.
Okay, so happy birthday to all of y'all who are celebrating your birthdays today. Do party and invite us, we'll be there. And it is the birthday of the wife of one of our news review segment panelist, and he is Reverend Savior. So his wife is celebrating her birthday today, and we at Dominion TV are so excited. So Lady Ruby, may you have all the joy your heart can hold. Wishing you the happiest and brightest day ever. So happy birthday to you. Well, she has to be fair. You know how the fair women, go about it. Yeah, so happy birthday to you. We love you. Thank you for allowing Reverend to come and, contribute on this show. Because if the lady says, you ain't going, he ain't going. All right? So happy birthday to you, Mommy. We love you. May the Lord bless and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you. Right? We'll be there for the party. That's English one. Koku, I know you're not a birthday.
That sounds like an abusive marriage. You should say when the woman said don't go, you don't go. Right.
Look, it only means that you don't know the power of a woman. Okay? Our power actually is in submissiveness. Okay? So being submissive is our power. Imagine a woman comes and say, hey, babe, I don't know.
How much do you want?
Now you are the abusive.
How much do you want? Hey, stop
or your
that.
bank account is not working.
How much do you want? Say, hi, babe. How much do you want? That's what I tell.
Well, 50,000 bullion, but aside that, I still want you at home. Let's spend some time together. You feel special. You won't go out.
There's also the boyfriend. He said we should say that the boyfriend of our makeup artist.
Oh,
is also
yes, Sammy.
His birthday today. Brother, when are we going for list? Okay, that's just by the way.
Is he a red flag yet?
But of course, happy birthday to Dora's boyfriend.
He's called Samuel.
He's called Samuel.
Yes.
Prophet Samuel. Senior, we're watching you.
Yeah,
we're
man.
watching
Yeah,
you.
man.
Thank you. But of course, yesterday was also the birthday of my good friend Benjamin Kwade. You celebrated your birthday yesterday. And Okagbozo, today is your birthday as well. Then is also Climate. Isaac Beje, today is your birthday. And
Climate.
Of course, yes, Climate. That's his nickname, Climate. Climatic factor.
Is he an Ewe?
Yeah, of course, obviously.
He's left with tight enough. Let's go.
No, that's not his real name. That's his nickname, actually. Right.
But he still has to be an Ewe to pick Climate.
Yes. Michael Sichopajolo, today's your birthday as well. All of you are celebrating your birthdays today. Happy
birthday. I would have been very excited celebrating birthday today for my dad.
Oh, yes.
12th February.
Posthumously.
So happy birthday to you.
Wherever you
Lawyer
are.
Jata, wherever you
Lawyer
are.
Jata. This lady is a lawyer's daughter. That's why guys, when they see the house,
I
then
know,
they pass
right?
like this.
Yeah. So Koku escaped the gunshots and everything. Well, thank God you're alive. So happy birthday to you, wherever you are.
Do lawyers
I
carry
miss
guns?
you. Well, my dad actually had one.
Okay.
Because he had 3 girls, he needed one. And the girls were pretty. Y'all check me out.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
pretty.
it is
You
what
are
it
pretty.
is.
Wherever you are.
Let's get on with news,
We
shall
love
we?
you so much. Yeah, and thanks for giving us this gift. Alrighty, let's go to Wake Up Buzz. Let's share some news from our local scene here in Ghana, and of course, international news. Well, let's start off with the Ghanaian scene, and Health Minister summoned to Parliament over cholera, cerebrospinal meningitis outbreak. This strikes me as Parliament just using, and I say these things advisedly, right? Using their summoning power to do, I think, virtually nothing. We stayed in this country. Like some parts of the country was without water. When you go into the issues, you realize that they saw the gap. Nothing was done about it. Now you can tell that the result of the shaking of that responsibility is now being seen in what is happening. Same with this. You cannot say that cholera just started now. There were signs.
That's right.
And there were monies probably allocated. There were personnel on the ground, probably even giving you weekly reports What did you do? So what are you summoning the new health minister to come do? What? To give the report probably that was given to you before that we never did anything about it. So what are you summoning the health minister to come? Just to come and tell you, oh, we are doing something about it. Personnel will go onto the ground. When we can just do a press. It tells you of how Parliament has lost its steam, and you can see it anywhere. In any case, whatever I say right now, and this is just for off the record, if it is detrimental to whatever, and of course I'm hauled before the Privileges Committee, I might decide not to go. Also because there were people who were called, they themselves were called, and they never appeared. So Parliament, it's becoming something really. And I thank God that the Archbishop went there with pastors to pray for them. To pray for them, and we'll share that with you later on.
Great. So 3 travelers killed, bus burnt at Wulugu, that's in the northern region. So I don't know how come we just keep hearing terrible news from the northern region. It's so bad. It's so bad. If it was 3 travelers involved in an accident, cool. But to be killed, then it means that it was intentional. So all these people, what's happening to the security agencies?
My question exactly. I can't tell. Again, let's not think we are peaceful in this country. We're in a state of lawlessness.
Because all these brigadier generals and all of that looking good in offices, how about they all get to the field and show the young boys how it's done? Because apparently they don't even know.
Not sure.
Anyway, let's just continue before we lose our joy for today.
Well, another sad one. While we're looking for money and we're hoping and praying that how much? $150 million. $150 million is what we're looking for from USAID, right? That's what has been taking off. ECG's missing billions. New PricewaterhouseCoopers audit report reveals 5.3 billion Ghana cedis revenue gap. As to whether these monies can be retrieved, as to whether we can go after these monies.
That's another thing. I think when I was listening to Honorable Ablakwa on the oral reports and the amount of money we're supposed to take back, my question was, how are we going to get it back? And what mechanisms are we going to use? Because that's huge money. I've always said that ECG has a problem of distribution and collection of money. And if we are in 2025 and cannot resolve that, excuse me, then it means that there's no need for us to have ECG, because if we're just giving light and not accounting for it properly, then what's the point? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
I was trying
and those
to look
doing
for
illegal thing, just stop it.
I was trying to look for how much it would have been converted, but of course, let's move on.
IGP Dampare, I haven't heard of him in a long while. IGP Dampare is a professional and level-headed. It's professional and level-headed. Sam Okujeto, Defense Police Chief. So I think the latter part of last year, he kind of went cold. We didn't see a lot of him. And people were saying that, okay, maybe he had gone quiet so that he would look good in the sight of NDC. And when they come, they won't let him go. He's the one person who hasn't even decided to leave office, resign or try anything.
Oh no,
right?
but that'll be sad. We don't, the police administration, that's not until maybe you are asked to. But what is sad? No.
Is it sad or quite interesting?
No, I'm talking about
who is coming
Mr.
from?
Sam Okujeto.
Yeah.
Mr. Sam Okujeto is a respected lawyer in this country, sat in this country, saw the sad removal of Madame Charlotte Osei. That is what people say was very sad, because there were grounds that were quite flimsy, right? And also saw how police chiefs were removed when his party, because we know his leaning, came to power. And so if you don't talk about it and you are talking about it now, it looks as though you are just speaking for
Playing to
or
the gallery.
against, you know,
Yeah.
and it's sad. It's sad. Nobody is sacking the man, but once you started saying it already, when you didn't say it, because you also spoke about removal of the current electoral commissioner,
yeah.
and you know, but you sat in this as a respected lawyer, you know, we expect. So if it's good for the goose, it has to be good for the gander. So let's all do these things. It just has to be clear that I have principles today, and it would always stand tomorrow.
Yeah.
When I see my brother being killed today, and I see someone else being killed, I have to fight for the right. And so it brings a balance. That's all there is. That's all there is. I don't know what the government wants to do with the IGP, though. It's up to them. It's up to them, really. Men in military uniform raid Oforiatta's residence. Very sad one. Whoever they are, they should bow their heads in shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alan, the man is not even in the country. He should be in Atlanta or somewhere.
Riding. So I don't know what you were looking for, but I'm not sure that's a vote. His house is not a vote.
It could be. You never know where you can find in ministers' houses.
Oh.
I mean, following cases of the Paz and all of that.
No.
So maybe there could be a vault
Oh no.
in there. Oh, look.
Should bow their heads in shame.
This is Africa and this is leadership. You can find anything. If we're able to import snow and make it look good, I mean, in certain countries, and I mean, why not? We can also have some cash.
Should bow their heads in shame, really.
Well,
let's do some international news now, shall we? Besigye launches hunger strike amid prolonged detention. So this particular opposition leader, who was said to have imported arms and ammunitions to, and of course was arrested, either on suspicion or some, evidence, has been in prison for 3 months without trial. And so he started some hunger strike as a protest. Very sad one. If you can find evidence, can he go to trial all of, I mean, as soon as possible? 3 months in prison, what is he doing there? See, these are the things.
he's collecting
Africa.
them.
Oh, no. Get him to court. Let's try him. Be fair judgment. If he is seen to be wrong,
And
in
the law
prison.
take its
Yes,
course.
exactly. But that's a sad one there, though. We pray for him.
At least 55 civilians killed by militia fighters in northeastern Congo.
Yeah. They went to the camps where villages were. They went there to kill them. Civilians in their sheds, camps, whatever. So they went. And that's what I'm saying. Charlie, there's a bigger problem. We need to stop doing Afrobeat. We need to start singing. No. Afrobeat in a way that we need to start singing about the conditions. I've always stood for that. Making movies about it, writing poems about it. Spoken word arts must start. Creatives must start speaking about what is happening. We're singing about women and whatever cleavages they have.
Somebody wrote a song about, I think it was in Nigeria, right? Nigeria, jaga, jaga, everything is gata, and he actually brought attention to some of the things that were happening about, leadership and how they spend so much there. So they're living in luxury, and then, on the shop floor, people are going through it. The guy was taken off the streets. We don't even know where his music career ended. You get it? So people are scared to say the truth.
How can you be scared?
Hotel Rwanda.
Yes.
It was such an eye-opener of all the crazy that was happening. But, you don't see such things. Who will fund it? Because the person, such movies. You were asking Mr. Ivan the other time.
Yes.
There are certain stories that needs to be funded, to be told. But the thing is...
Oh, not necessarily the movie as in large scale in terms of how capital... I'm talking even about short films.
Yeah.
Where you just portray things to sell that idea of peace to people.
That's what I'm saying, that there might be some sort of resistance,
That's a lie. We're just misplaced. We have misplaced priorities in Africa. My world. Well, We'll start our advocacy very soon. Rwanda-backed M23 fighters resume attacks in DR Congo after 2-day pause. Kenya is calling for a virtual meeting. The DR Congo's president says he will not attend because you see the Rwanda-backed M23 is said to be, because you can see the Rwanda-backed, right? They are said to be fighters, the Tutsis from Rwanda and all of that, with some soldiers from Congo. What it means is that it's international, and I am looking forward to presidents calling for ceasefire, going in there to help and all of that. And I don't know why, we'll have to go into it, why the DRC president says he's not going to attend the meeting, the virtual meeting indeed, to address the crisis. But that's that for DRC as well.
1 dead, 8 sickened in Uganda's new Ebola outbreak. So I think we saw that yesterday. There's an outbreak. 1 is dead, and 8 people are receiving treatments. Ebola, again, Ebola. I remember when, I think there was this Ebola thingy, that was about 4, 5, 6 years ago?
Yes.
Or 7 years ago.
I understand.
Yeah. Anyway.
South Sudan president sacks top leaders and spy chief.
He sacks them. Top leaders and spy chief.
Righty. Well, that's by way of Wake Up Bars international news, and of course news making headline.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, to take a break, still to come, we're getting into news review later on. There's also Tech and Trends coming up, Lab Doctor series. We're talking about lasting relationships and how to foster them. And then later on, we'll talk about money, marriage, and its related issues. This is Wake Up Africa. Stay with us.
Upgrade is nice, but a double upgrade is amazing. And that's how we do it. Upgrade today to get even more with Step Up. If you're on GOtv Max and upgrade to GOtv Super, you'll get way more with GOtv Super Plus.
It's so cool!
Get big value. Get big entertainment.
Very good.
Perfect! Upgrade and get even more with GOtv.
Man.
GOtv. Love it.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain, and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
Africa 54, in partnership with Voice of America, weekdays 8 a.m. and 3 p.m.
All right, Dave. So welcome back. Let's get into tech and trends. You know how we do, keeping you updated what's happening, the world of technology and entertainment. So let's hear from this very beautiful lady first time, I think. Yeah, right? Steffi.
And welcome to the Trends and Tech segment with me, your host, Stephanie. Now, on today's segment, we'll be taking you on a journey on how to use the Adobe Scan app on iOS and Android. So come along and let's take note.
The provided video demonstrates how to use the Adobe Scan app. Here's a breakdown of its features and functionalities. The app requires a free Adobe account, and if you have other Adobe apps, it will log in automatically. You will need to grant permissions for the camera, notifications, and storage. Scanning options. The app offers different scanning options, including documents, whiteboard, ID card, and business cards. The most common is document scanning, which the app automatically detects and captures, though this can be turned off. Document capture and editing. The app automatically detects, captures, and auto-crops document. You can capture and add more pages, and view or scan pages, delete selected pages, and adjust lighting with filters. The brightness and contrast can also be adjusted. The cleanup feature removes spots, wrinkles, and unclear edges, and can even remove text. Markup tools are available for writing on the document, with options for width, opacity, and color. Page sizes can be set with options like A4 and A3 in both portrait and landscape. Text can be copied to the clipboard with one click. Saving and sharing. Once all edits are complete, the document can be saved as a PDF and can be modified later. Documents are saved to your Adobe account. A JPEG copy can be saved to your device. Documents can be copied to Google Drive or OneDrive.
Alright, there you have it. That's the Adobe Scan app to help you scan your document wherever you find yourself. And yes, this is time for new releases. And first off, we'll be starting off from Yada as she releases her new inspiring hit titled Ever Present Help, featuring the Archbishop Benson Idahosa of Blessed Memory.
They will walk and not faint. They will run and not be weary. They will mount on wings like eagles and soar. Cause you're our helper. Our helper. Our helper. Though the mountains be moved and the earth be shaken, God is in the midst of us. He's an ever-present help in times of trouble.
Now we are moving on forward into the camp of Elikem Adenko, featuring our very own Pastor Isaiah on the music titled Stay. So stay with us and do this listening.
Help me stay. Help me stay. Help me stay. In your presence. Your presence. For pleasures evermore. Help me stay.
Now, for all you acoustic lovers, Kobe Sam has revealed his acoustic version of Asida, so you can go out on all digital platforms and stream it. Let's take a listen.
Yadawasia ensado, yeyiwaya ensado, yetiasia, neyewadu. Yadawasia ensado, yeyiwaya ensado,
For a youthful spark and something we can vibe with, the Yahweh medley by Philip Ajale and the Campus Rush music is here and streaming on all music platforms, so we can hear it. And now today we'll be finishing off today's edition with Ebuka's songs and Pride of Heaven's new release titled Armor of God.
He's a dead man that is still standing. A soldier without bulletproof. He's a dead man that is still standing. A soldier without bulletproof. He's a dead man, oh. That is still standing. So that fine boy, without Jesus Christ, he's already a dead man that is still dripping. That fine girl, without Jesus Christ, he's already a dead man that is still slaying. That
And now thank you for making time with us right here on Wake Up Africa, particularly trends and tech with me, your host, Stephanie. Until next time, it's bye-bye.
Right, so thank you so much, Stephanie B, for that trends and tech update. So now you know what to do with Adobe and all the beautiful songs that are out there. Listen to some good music, right? And enjoy yourself. Okay, so how about we get ready for the news review? Coco is going to come your way where we actually discuss deeply some of the news that's going around, and you don't want to miss it. But before then, let's soothe ourselves with some nice music.
we
Absolutely. Welcome back. Thank you very much for your time. Let's now get ready and get into the news. Let's give you some update on what's happening in the world of news right here, especially on the scene of Ghana. Remember that we're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. And so drop your comments there. Go share with a friend. We have quite some exciting things to share with you today. Well, joining us for the first time on the set of Wake Up Africa, but not on Dominion TV's set, is Pastor Buddy, righty? Pastor Buddy is here with us. He's a forensic scientist.
You didn't know, did you?
No, I knew you went to forensics, right? But
yes.
The scientist that added is a dangerous combination, I tell you for a fact.
Oh,
but of course, a social analyst as well. He runs a podcast as well, Ask Buddy. And so, he's loaded. Well, but when people say we have the men, we have the men, we have the men here. But of course, also joining us via phone will be Reverend Nanaya Bafo Boni.
Oh, wow.
Later, who will be joining us to get into the issues, right? We have quite a number of issues coming up. Some of them we shared with you via the Wake Up Bus. ECG's missing billions. We also have Ken Oforiata's issues with some military men, alleged military men raiding his house, Parliament summoning the health minister, and so on and so forth. But there was something special that happened yesterday. We cannot fail to bring it to you. Yesterday, clergymen led by His Eminence, the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, stormed Parliament. When I say stormed, it's not like any violent storm. I mean, they went there. Their objective was to help the legislative arm of government in some prayers, and so prayers were led. In any case, the Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable S.K. Bagbin, had said that next time it was not going to happen where they did it, but they will move into the chamber itself. And he used these words so that the chamber or the people can be exorcised, right? Those are the words of the Speaker of Parliament, because he believes that anytime he's away, things just happen. So there must be something in the Chamber of Parliament that's causing this. But let's share some footages with you. When we come back, we'll pick the initial thoughts of our guests and we get into the other issues. Stay with us.
From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Divine providence. To acknowledge our need of you, recognizing that we cannot succeed at this parliament without the God factor being given attention to. And on that note, we give thanks.
And so that's by way of what happened in Parliament yesterday. I don't want to take the shine of it, but the minority was visibly missing in that prayer. And that's where I come. I come from a news point of view, so I don't know why. But let me take your initial thoughts. Thank you very much for coming. We're grateful. We're grateful I could make some time. But your thoughts on what you just saw?
First of all, good morning. And good morning to the watchers and listeners all around the world. I think minority has been largely missing from a lot of the things that have been happening in Parliament. I think yesterday, the majority leader joked that Ghanaians gave them 88 and they are only using 18. And it was because the minority had raised a concern that Parliament didn't have quorum for certain things that they were doing. And the majority leader was saying, because you don't show up. You don't show up for anything. But, well, we have the numbers, so you can decide not to show up and we will still take decisions. I think that it's not going to help. It's not going to help. That is not what they said. When the minority leader was introduced or outdoored, what he said was they are going to become a minority that will not distort or interrupt government. Yeah. You know, and I don't think that is what we are seeing. You know, all through the vetting process, and you know, I rather not go there. But you can tell that the minority is not happy with a lot of things, and the way they choose to show it is by not showing up. I don't see what the point of that is, because you are public servants.
Yes.
You are paid to serve.
Yes.
You are paid to show up. The least you can do is just show up.
Just show up. But of course, the action to lead Parliament through prayers. Largely, we didn't play that of the Speaker of Parliament, but of course, he had said that next time it will happen on the floor of Parliament.
But it wasn't pre-announced, was it?
Not that we heard of. Not that we heard of, actually.
Because if it was pre-announced, then maybe we'll have an issue with the minority not showing up. But if it wasn't pre-announced, then yeah, it's your business as usual. They don't normally show up for stuff, and they didn't show up for this one too.
But the clerk is there. The majority is also represented. Well, it's not like I see the majority leader, Mama Yariga, there as well. But some people are
I'm not sure if everybody appeared in the video. Maybe they are around, but
but I saw them. I know them, and so quite a number. Yes, I know them. The minority leader or majority leader is supposed to be seated close to them.
Yes,
and this is only Honorable Dapamekpo. Then, so that's it. But I mean, that's that. We're still seeing if we can connect with Reverend Bibi. But while we do that, so that was what happened yesterday. The world watched even as we prayed for. Look, the only thing we might have is our minds to share with the world. But the most important thing that we've been called to do is to continually be in touch with God through our prayers, and our voices would have to be raised, and the Archbishop will not fail at doing that. Prayer is important. While you take the major decisions, people can say whatever they like, and we need to learn, we need to whatever. While they also do theirs, we Christians would also pray.
Ghana belongs to God.
Absolutely, absolutely,
belongs to God.
Indeed. Well, let's quickly get on to the next story. And this, by way of some audit that has been conducted, the electricity company of Ghana's missing billions, some new PricewaterhouseCoopers audit report reveals 5.3 billion revenue gap. Well, the revelation cast a long shadow over Ghana's struggling power sector. We've discussed that earlier, but the billions unaccounted for. The audit covering January to December 2024 follows an earlier PwC review of ECG's final quarter of 2023, which identified some 567 million Ghana cedis in revenue discrepancies. But the latest figures reveal a far deeper structural issue. In just 1 year, unreported revenue ballooned to 5.3 billion Ghana cedis, suggesting a chronic inefficiencies in ECG's accounting practices, or worse, deliberate financial mismanagement, the report says.
Koko, I don't think this is something that was overlooked, quote unquote. The people who work at ECG, the finance department at ECG is very, very competent. They know what they are doing. And this also raises a lot of suspicion as to why Dubik resigned. Dubik Mahama. He resigned, I think last year, September last year. You know, and it was because of some misunderstanding, purportedly, that he was having with the board. How he wanted to run the board, how he wanted to run ECG and so on. And it just wasn't working for him. And the losses that they reported in 2021, I think the loss that they reported was around the region of 1 billion. By the time they got to 2022 or 2023, it had gone up. The losses had gone up to around 3 or 4 billion, which was like, you see the difference, the gap. And now to hear that revenue that they are generating is being underreported. Hey, and the interesting detail about it is that the little income that they reported when they disbursed it, the power generators, Bui and Volta River Authority, had somewhere in the regions of 400 million, 300 million respectively.
Okay.
But there was a particular vendor that they paid about 400 million Ghana cedis. 400 million Ghana cedis for a vendor who helps them with, I think, distribution or something of a sort. And to pay around the same 400 million for VRA, that is a power generator. It doesn't make any sense. This one, I don't think this should be taken lightly at all, because Ghana, yesterday or 2 days ago, my lights were out. But yeah.
I've not touched on that, but quite a number of people are fighting this erratic power supply.
Yes.
And in this doom song.
Just yesterday, I was in the studio in the morning, and then somewhere in the afternoon, there was low current. ACs were not working, the fan was not working. I think the lights, some were working, others were not. The whole time, till night, so I couldn't record, the whole day was wasted because there was erratic power supply. And to hear this,
I see. Because all the time that they have spoken about the doomsaw, the erratic power supply, it has been a financial issue, they tell us.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not necessarily anything. It has been a finance issue. But Reverend Bibi has joined us via phone. Reverend Bibi, can you hear me?
Yeah, greetings to your viewers, Coco, this morning. It's a joy to be able to join in. I think this ECG thing, we tackled this some time ago on the morning show, and it's come up again. I think that, as is normally the issue is best practice when it comes to audit reporting. Whoever has been found culpable or responsible for some of this financial misreporting and leakages should have been given an opportunity to make an input into the report so that we can have a fuller picture. So I don't know whether it was within the period of Mahamat Dick's leadership or his successors, but whatever it is, we need to get a perspective so that we can fully appreciate whatever transpired in its totality. But that notwithstanding, my understanding is that this cash waterfall system was actually breached and what was not followed through, and that is what has led to some of this huge debts and shortfalls, because I think there was a formula and a mechanism by which the monies that came in had to be dispersed. And if you remember, the last time we had to discuss this thing on air, it was actually evident that at a point, even the ECG was involved in direct procurement of crude, which falls completely outside its scope of work and what it is expected to do as electricity company of Ghana. So I think the matters need to be interrogated, to be sure that it is not malfeasance that is being committed deliberately, especially in the face of all these oral issues that are arising. We cannot continue to watch unconcerned as some of this wastage goes on in the system.
That's the voice of Reverend.
Goku, to even add to that, the waterfall system that he was talking about, it came out that ECG maintains 99 bank accounts.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense
at all.
It doesn't make any sense. And the vendor that they paid 400 million to is a revenue collection vendor. So again, I totally agree with Reverend Bibi. This matter has to be interrogated. This is a national company. And issues of looting, issues of mismanagement have come up a lot. He was questioning whether the period under review was when Dubik was in office. It's January to December 2024. So it spans from the time he began to September. September was when he left. So it covers a period of when he was there. And I hear there's a new, I understand there's a new managing director of ECG, Engineer Julius Bebenya. I think he really needs to use his good office to look into this issue proper, to make sure that whatever things that have been going on and whatever things have gone on will be corrected ASAP, because we need our power and we need it now.
Well, that's that. Again, are you suffering from the scourge and the shackles of doomsday? Let us know. How long have you been in there? Let us know. You can drop your comments and our live stream. Let's know. Let's pick some thoughts as well. But let's still stay. Let's go to Parliament now, shall we? The first Deputy Speaker, Bernard Ahia, for Right Honourable, has directed Health Minister Kwabena Minta Kando to brief Parliament on all the developments in the health sector with regards to the outbreak of diseases within 1 week. The understanding is that the someone has come after the minority leader, Alexander Penyumaki, and has addressed the House requesting the minister to update the House on measures being taken by government to contain the spread of the diseases. He noted that 400 cholera cases have been recorded in his region, the central region, with while 14 deaths have been reported from the cerebrospinal meningitis outbreak in the Upper West region. Brings to me the case of decentralizing, tackling some of these issues. We have district chief executives, we have municipal chief executive, we have Ghana Health Service, inspectorate, ministry. They have them at these levels. What has been the reports, weekly reports, monthly reports over the years? Let's just say, let's use last year, the year under review. What has been the case? Because I am not sure that
this is a new thing. No, it's not. As of December 2024, there were 3,292 reported cases, 27 deaths. This was December 19. By December 23rd of the same year, there were 4,155 cases with 35 deaths. So this is last year.
Yes.
And these numbers that we are seeing here are numbers that represent a particular trend. You see, when you look at the cause of cholera, it is basic hygiene. It's a sanitation issue. And all the departments that you mentioned are implicated.
Yes.
But more importantly, I think we should be more proactive than reactive.
Yes.
I don't know why we'll be facing cholera outbreak in a nation like Ghana in 2025.
Yes.
And one of the things I remember very well when I was younger was the NCC, the National Commission on Civic Education. Yes. They used to have a lot of campaigns running on TV, directing people what to do, how to do it, washing their hands before they eat, washing their hands after they use the washroom, and so on and so forth. And I think at that time it was because there was some outbreak of sorts. I don't know if you remember that bit where the woman was pounding fufu, with the violet thing on the fufu. Yes. Yeah. And all those things helped because hygiene is a basic thing. Hygiene is something, but a lot of people don't put a lot of thought into it. This is an issue of education, I believe, largely. Okay. Last year, I heard the Ministry of Health putting out a communique saying that this thing started in the Western region, if you remember, and it spread from there. They started blaming it on Indomie sellers, vegetable vendors. I think that this is an education issue. The NCC should pick it up. We should revert back to strong campaigns and be preemptive in some of these measures. We should not always be reactive, waiting for things to happen before we respond. That notwithstanding, I think the Minister of Health will do well to update us, help us know the real situation, what exactly is going on, how far we've gone in terms of combating this thing, stopping the spread, and so on. And it's sad that people will die of cholera in 2025. 2025.
Well, Reverend Bibi, I don't know what you think though. Remember, there are calls for NCC to come, be proactive as well, but they will tell you they are under-resourced. But let me hear you. Let me hear you on that note.
Just like Pastor Buddy just said, the truth of the matter is that we keep going around in this perennial cycle, you see. And like I've said time and again in the studio, that these things make us look very funny and like a very unserious country. Because we cannot be solving the same problems in perpetuity, We cannot be solving the same problems in perpetuity. I mean, May, June will come, and we'll be here addressing floods as well. You see, why don't we sit down and have a more holistic approach to some of these issues? Sometimes the reality is that the period of implementation it falls outside the duration of a person's tenure in office, so they don't find it attractive to even set in motion the kind of long-lasting solution, because then someone else will either come and take credit for it, or that person will not continue the program when they take over. And so I think that we should really see the principle of continued governance at work when it comes to addressing this issue. And like Pastor Badi said, it's quite a shame that in the year 2025, in the 21st century, we are actually talking about a disease that is based on fecal matter. Yeah, it's I mean, let's put it plainly and bluntly. My apologies to anybody who is eating and watching the program, but that is the only way cholera spreads. You see, an infected person's feces must have been setting upon a house fly or some insect that infect other meals. So really, how do we defecate? How do we treat our fecal waste? You see, and if in this day and age people are still doing open defecation, something is fundamentally wrong somewhere. And so beyond NCC doing education, the authorities that are involved in granting building permits, and I don't see why building inspectors should allow a project to go on that doesn't have a toilet facility in it. And I shared this once on a program when I was growing up in Labadi, that even at a point, my landlady, broke down the toilet that was in the house that everybody was using, and then decided to put more single rooms there instead. And people were queuing at the public toilets, to go and poo. And those who could afford the 20 pesos at the time would just stroll to the beach and then leave the rest to the forces of nature. And that is how we find ourselves where we are. And I think that we should be up and doing and stop some of these things. If you watch very carefully, you don't see too much of these particular infections in our serious hinterlands, you see, because they are not cosmopolitan in their constitution. So everybody knows everyone. So it's very easy to maintain a certain sense of hygiene. It's very easy to use the communal spirit to make sure that the environments are clean. But in the very heterogeneous settlements where they're very cosmopolitan and everybody feels that I don't come from here, I'm just passing through to find my daily bread, that sense of community is lost on all of us. And we just mess up anything and everything in any way possible. And I think that is a very unfortunate disposition that we have. It really mirrors our dying sense of patriotism, even for our own country. So I think that the municipal and district assembly should also take up the fight. The education must go on. The building permits must make sure that sanitary facilities are there, and the public ones, if we need to provide some to augment that, we should do that. And then have task force that police our river bodies and our water bodies, not only for Galamsey, but also for open defecation, and punish, offenders so that we can all save ourselves.
Instructive, very instructive. Let's go to some other story, shall we? The Chief of Staff has revoked all public service appointments after December 7th. The decision, we're told it's a confidential letter that was cited by some major news networks. The decision is expected to affect individuals who were appointed or recruited into various public sector roles after the 2024 general elections. While the specific reasons for the revocation, we're told, have not been detailed, sources also suggest that it forms part of the government's efforts to ensure fairness and transparency in public sector transition process. The issue of wanting to do that even, it is not necessarily even after December 7th. Yeah. There's a period of transition before the elections. Yes. So within that, you're supposed to hand over everything. Exactly. So the understanding probably of transition period and also public sector workers and politicians' way of doing things. I don't know.
I don't want to say this is mischievous, because you know very well that you may or may not retain power. You know very well that if it happens that you have to hand over power, all these appointments that you are making will be null and void. You know. And concerning the reason for the revocation, from a credible source, the chief of staff cited reasons of they were not interviewed. Many of them were not interviewed. They didn't go through any kind of interview. They were just appointed. And then also, those who were interviewed, majority of them failed their medicals, but they were still appointed anyway. But all that aside, what really are you trying to do? If you know, these are people that were appointed. Those appointments took effect after December 7, right? January 7. The results of the election came in, I think, the following day. So we knew very early who had won. What was the point of appointing people after this? What was the point? President Mahama took office 7th January. So all that while the person was in power was, the former president. What was going through his head, seeing these appointments go through, and he was being, he was comfortable with it? I think the people have been put in a very weird and awkward position. I can only imagine my family member part of these appointees and having to come home because it wasn't done properly. And also, the fact that there are no jobs.
That's what I was going to.
Yes, employment is a problem now. So people would take whatever they can get. Okay. If employment wasn't really an issue, if I'm going to be appointed or recruited into a government agency after December 7, I'll think twice about it. Hoping that you'll be retained when a new government, even the major appointments like CEOs, and there's a whole lot of contention around it. Party people go in and say, just said it's not a person, we don't know him, and other things. The recruits there.
You go hard.
You go hard.
You go hard.
You go hard.
There are two things that I want us to put it in context, of course, in 3 minutes, Reverend BB. One is that there are widespread reports of people also taking monies before giving these appointments. Two is that there were also reports, even early in the administration of the SWAL government, where we were told that there was no space in the public sector, in the government sector. And so this raises a lot of concerns. Talk to me about it, Reverend Bibi. Reverend Bibi.
Well, the thing is that when it comes to these issues, I think it's just something the two parties do to each other. Because I remember the chairman on the side of the transition team back then, Osafo Mafu, also wrote a similar letter indicating such revocations, when they were also taken over. And they made good on their promise and they revoked it. I think that if the transition bill that Professor Mills put in place does not have this thing in there, the sitting parliament should look at the possibility of amending and including that to ensure that at least 30 days prior to election, unless it is a vital state institution, appointments should not be made. I mean, there should be very clear guidelines because prior to elections, you are more like a lame duck president. And so you must know that you don't hold too much power and things that you do can be reversed in a case where you are not retained. So maybe that transition bill can be looked at and some of these things very clearly enshrined so that people don't become victims of the political game and football that is going on. Of course, it would be most unfortunate for you to have quit your job, to be in that place and then find yourself caught between the crossfire. Nonetheless, I also think that the current government should tread cautiously. It should not be a blanket execution of this order because, mind you, some of these people have contracts, and as for contracts, they have binding legal ramifications. So if some of these things have been done contractually, then I think that they have to look at it because issues of seeking legal redress can come up and some of these things can culminate in some financial loss to the state if we have to pay for the contract breaches. So I think that in looking at it, everybody must not be treated with the same brush.
Sure, Reverend Bibi, for your time, we're grateful. Before you go, anything, I don't know if you want to add or any other thing you want.
Well, on the revocations, I think last night it came out that the Director General of SNIT had been removed. What's his name? Osafo Mafu, along with all the deputies.
Yes.
And the new one is Afre Baini. Afre Baini has been put there, and his deputies, I think, Sule, Adam Sule. And these are also things that we should follow. Let's see how well they bring some restructuring to SNIT, how well they do their work. And all in all, I think President Mohammed's first 30 days have gone on fairly well. We are praying that it goes. You know, this is our country. Whenever it comes to Ghana, I don't think partisan stance and, you know, I really admire what Papa did, going with the clergy to the legislature. It's our country. This country belongs to all of us. So if you are here, you know, hoping that the government will fail, for your party to come next, and all of these kinds of things, in the end, we are all going to suffer, and it's not going to be good at all. So I think all of us should join hands. We should wish the government well. We should pray for the government, and we should all contribute our quota wherever we find ourselves to make sure Ghana is great and strong.
Absolutely. Pastor Badi is a forensic scientist. You've got to Google that. What do you do? So you can.
I solve crime.
He solves crime. Anything crime, he solves it using forensic strategies and every other thing that's to But of course, very smart pastor of ours. Of course, thank you very much for coming. Let's see you come often. We know you're very busy. We'll take a quick music break. When we come back, the show returns. Stay with us.
From my heart to your ears, I'll sing these melodies for you. 'Cause you've touched my heart in so many ways, like I've never felt before. I thank the Lord for bringing you my way, and I'm never letting go. This loving is for life. This loving is for life. I thank the Lord for bringing you my way, and I'm never letting go. This loving is for life. I'm loving you for life. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. This loving is for life. I'm loving you for life. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. This loving is for life. I'm loving you for life. If challenges come, I'll stay with you. It's me and you till Jesus comes. No going back, no backing down. We will serve the Lord, make the kingdom proud. What more can I ask for? You are all I prayed for. Woman of the world, you're my dream come true. I love you, I love you, I love you. I love you. This loving is for life. I'm loving you for life. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. This loving is for life. I'm loving you for life. I thank the Lord for bringing you my way, and I'm never letting go. This loving is for life. I'm loving you for life. I thank the Lord for bringing you my way, and I'm never letting go. This loving is for life. Ooh, I'm loving you for life, baby. Ooh. sunshine, had my share of rain, but there's nothing in this world compared to the joy I have whenever I'm with you. Known you for a long time, come a long way. You were like my sunshine after a stormy day. They say that love is blind, but I can see it through your eyes. Girl, you give me so much happiness, and I wanna give you nothing less. I promise to be true, to give my all to you, no matter what they say. This heart belongs to you. I thank the Lord above for giving you to me. Forever's just a start. Forever's you and me. See, life is like a journey. It's full of ups and downs. No matter what you go through, I'll always be around. We'll take our hopes and dreams, turn them to reality, baby. Together, said I would be a lover and I would be a friend. We'll love you like the other until the very end. They say that love is blind, but I can see it through your eyes. Girl, you give me so much happiness, and I wanna give you nothing less. I promise to be true, to give my all to you, no matter what they say. This heart belongs to you. I thank the Lord above for giving you to me. Forever's just a start. Forever's you and me. Baby, I'll be a soldier, fight your battles. Baby, I'll be a shoulder you lean on. Baby, I'll be your husband and your best friend. And there's nothing that I wouldn't do just to prove to you I'll be true to you. I promise to be true, to give my heart to you, no matter what they say. This heart belongs to you. I thank the Lord above for giving you to me. Forever's just a start. Forever's you and me. I promise to be true, to give my heart to you, no matter what they say to me. This heart belongs to you. I thank the Lord above for giving you to me, but I can see it through your eyes. Girl, you give me so much happiness, and I wanna give you nothing less. I promise to be true, to give my all to you, no matter what they say. This heart belongs to you. I thank the Lord above for giving you to me. Forever's just a start. Forever's you and me. Baby, I'll be a soldier, fight your battles. Baby, I'll be a shoulder you lean on. Baby, I'll be your husband
Well, the vow, keeping the vow. That's what we are all about. From last week till now, still commemorating what the world has come to know, February 4, the love months. And that's why we're doing it the right way indeed. Not just anybody who come share their opinions and perspectives. Let me risk repeating myself. But people who are certified to do so, people who are professionals from very recognized professional bodies to counsel you on what's happening in your marriage, your relationship as singles, and of course couples. And so we're excited once again to bring that to you. It is also worth mentioning that the love madam is still in the house. Precious Biadela.
Get used to it.
Exactly.
Get used to me.
God has prepared this lady preciously for love things. And it's
even you don't believe it.
But of course, our guests are in the studio, Pastor Carl Basie Acel and Counselor Basilia Basie Acel. So you are the counselor.
Exactly.
And Pastor.
Yes,
Is it okay, before the usual questions we always ask, right? Is it okay to make sure that if you pastor a church, wifey probably should go for professional courses so that it's not like, oh, it's just the mother and becomes a professional counselor? Is it okay?
It's okay. It's helpful because you are not in the assignment alone.
Yes.
You are in to complement each other's purpose and calling. So she comes on board with a lot of wisdom, a lot of strategic counseling. That helps. In as much as you, the pastor, you must have some basic training in counseling, which is very important because you don't take the risk of just advising from the top of your head because you have been given the honor of being called a pastor. That notwithstanding, you also need that support from your spouse. So she comes in very helpful.
I see.
And I thank God for her life and for the path. She's doing it not only because I'm in ministry, but it's actually a calling that God has placed on her life. And that is really helpful.
Hey, that's what I was waiting for. If you were not to say, oh my
God. One thing that I realized also is that, a lot of people confide in their pastors. And even, let's say, they call their pastors and their wives mommies and daddies.
Yeah.
And so naturally, they confide in them. And so, it's not just even the pastor's wives. Both the pastor and the wife necessarily must have some training in counseling. Because counseling is not really advice giving. There's more to counseling than we know.
I love your voice. Can you speak a little louder?
Okay.
Please?
So there's more to counseling than we know. Most of the time, we think, when I'm going for counseling, I'm going for advice. But there's more to it. So we really would implore our men of God, our women of God, and their spouses, to take some few courses in counseling to know what really goes into it.
So how long? The marriage?
Interesting. I don't count it from the day we got married. So
okay.
So marriage almost 8 years.
Okay.
8 years.
But we went out for 5.5 years. That's crazy.
Wow.
We went out. We went out for 5.5 years.
What course were you pursuing?
I'm telling you, more than PhD. Because she was on campus, I was on campus, final year, second year. So which means if we marry, she has to even complete, finish her national service, and we purpose that at least she should have done her first year of masters before we, tie the knot, because you can anticipate family life and all that. So if I've gone ahead to do my masters, she should at least do the coursework before. So there were factors, there were pillars, foundations, purpose, and planning. And so it wasn't just whiling away time. It was a deliberate agenda as we prayerfully planned it. I didn't know it would even last that long, but it did.
Can you recollect that day when you first spoke a word to Pastor?
The first time interestingly, when I completed senior high, there was a program I went for. And it was organized by, he went to UCC, he went ahead before I came. So they organized a program in a church, and then I attended the program, and he was there. I saw him at the program because he mentioned his program of study, and I hadn't heard that before. So I took notice of him because I was wondering what program that was, but I never spoke with him. So I think when I went to UCC, I saw he was in the union I was also in. So I think I used to meet him from time to time and say hello. I think the first day I really spoke with him was the day he was elected president of our union. And I went to say congratulations to him. Because I really felt...
So in effect, you were the one who went first.
Really? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
Aww.
Maybe.
Those of you who were waiting not to come.
I didn't wait to. You don't want to wait and now miss the thing. I go, hey, you didn't come early. No. Feel like it, go get it, man. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. I like the fact that, I mean, it's all... You are deliberate. I mean, from what you say, you're very deliberate about. Are you that deliberate about stuff that you do in your marriage, to decisions, where it's going to? You plan it like that?
Well, it's not the straight-jacketed approach. No, no. It's planning is important, and it should, as I said initially, should be natural. You are friends. You have your purpose, your calling, and that's where the deliberate approach comes, that there's a God to honor, there's an assignment to fulfill. Even in our friendship, we are conscious that there's a God to honor, there is purpose to fulfill. So I believe that has been quite influential in our approach. Whatever you do, there are so many lives connected to you that are going to be directly or indirectly impacted. So you have that, but it also does not mean you lose your sense of liberty, being yourself in the process. So we'll say, yes, we plan, we are strategic, but it comes natural. I mean, yeah.
Interesting. So today we're talking about keeping lasting marriages, right? Is that it? Now, I want this to serve as the background, and so thank God you had 5 years of talking and before you got married. At what point must the question come up, especially even if it's from the lady, is to say, brother, when are you doing this? And is that question even prudent to ask, especially from a woman? Because the guy is just going, yeah, you do things together, you talk, but the question has not come up yet. Like, let's go to the house and all of that. Is that question necessary? Is it prudent? When must you do so?
Yes, please. It's very necessary. You know, when we women get to a certain point, you realize that there are a number of suitors who might be coming your way. Normally, amongst the suitors, you know the one you probably would want to settle with.
You know?
You know. Yeah. You know the one who would, yes, amongst the suitors, you know that. You rate them. Okay, so if this doesn't work, at least I can settle with this. Yeah. It's something, okay, personally, I think I used to do.
The other line is also saying, yeah, so it's true.
So, if I realize that you, amongst the suitors that have come my way, you are the one I probably would want to settle down with. I need to know if we are thinking same. Otherwise, maybe there's another one who really is showing interest and I might want to consider. So if I get to know your thought, because when we are in church, these Christian brothers, sometimes they would make us feel, they are taking us somewhere, but that's sometimes true. The mind is also somewhere else. So I need to know the reality, so I know what step to take next. So I think it's good, you as a woman, at a point when you feel the time is due for you to, get married and all that, and there's a man around you, you should find out. Are we this friendship? Why are we taking this friendship? Are we taking it somewhere? Are we to take it to a different level? I believe such questions are necessary.
It doesn't come across as someone who is pressuring the guy, or maybe the frequency is what matters.
Well, I don't think so. I think, let me speak for the Christian brothers in a way.
Note, Pastor says Christian brothers.
Yes, those who don't come forward, watch and pray.
So this is what I realized as a Christian leader. I was privileged to be involved in Christian leadership at every stage in the university, and I realized that it is very easy to be emotionally unfair to ladies who are around you as a Christian brother, because you are exhibiting the love of Christ, but it can easily be interpreted as personal interest. So a lot of wisdom is needed. Don't raise the hopes of a lady and later say that, oh, we are just brothers in Christ. You must. I'm saying that don't conduct yourself in a way that you raise the hopes of the lady so much. And thereafter, when you see that she is responding to the signals you have sent, then you now tend to draw the line that, oh, we are actually brothers and sisters. So we need to be conscious of the extent to which we seek to demonstrate this kind of love. It's very important. And many have been frustrated, have felt very unfairly treated in the Christian circles because we didn't apply this wisdom. So if in walking, so when I met Basi, when we met, I mean, I knew that I've been praying concerning the kind of woman, I know my background and all that, and I was praying concerning the kind of woman I want in my life. And the tics were so many, but she would attest to the fact that I did my best not to send so many clues until I get my conviction from God. This is a case where she would present a list of those who had proposed to her, and we would discuss who is correct on the list.
You were the one superintending over that list.
That is
without bias.
It's going to
Without
be so
bias.
painful
Because-
if I'm the other guy.
Yes, because the point is that you really wish the person well.
Yeah.
If you've not gotten to that point where you've settled surely that this is God's will and purpose for you, she's still somebody's potential wife.
Yeah.
So you need to handle that circumstance with a lot of wisdom. So once the green light was given, trust me, on Friday the green light was given, Saturday I planned, Sunday I had proposed. But until then, a lot of wisdom in managing yourself as a Christian brother around our sisters is very important.
Did it come as a shock to you when he said, the man who is superintending over choosing and choosing has now proposed?
He has chewed the list.
It didn't come as a surprise because, you know, when I was on campus, when any guy comes around me, I begin to pray. And then I tell God that if this is not the one, let something happen. Maybe not, you know, start any friendship that would lead into. So I used to pray about each of them. For him, I realized the more I prayed, it seemed the more we, you know, got closer and all that. And so for some reason, I felt I knew, let me use the word I knew, because I really prayed. And so I was sort of waiting for him for the time when he would propose. But interestingly, the day he told me, you know, he told me after service, I want to tell you something, or I want to show you something. You know, sometimes when he gets some revelation from scripture, he would want to share with me. So honestly speaking, that is what I thought was going to happen in my mind. I thought it was one of those revelations he was going to share.
It was a
I had no
revelation.
Yeah, right?
Yes, please. So I think he was right in saying that he didn't really raise my hopes too high. Though I was waiting, but, you know, he had a way of doing it so that I still would give room to others should there be there.
Wow,
Very
that's
important.
amazing. Coco, you should actually have a rethink about how you go and propose it to other girls in the church.
I feel attacked.
Oh, please.
I feel attacked.
Well, this is beautiful. You know, over the week, I think from last week, we started to talk about a number of things. We touched on temperaments and all the red flags and green flags and all of that and all of that. Now we're getting into lasting relationships, or maybe, lasting relationship, maybe even in courtship or into marriage. Some people get into courtship leading to marriage. I was in the marriage, and then all of a sudden they're like, we can't do this, you know, we're done, we want different things, we all of that. So it defeats the whole idea of I love you, we'll be doing this forever. Right? What are you doing differently that's keeping your relationship so beautiful, lasting, and going? Yeah, and she
The
likes
going
that.
part.
Oh my God. Koku has said that about you. Going where? Nowhere. Forget it. I love you too. We're going, honey. Yeah. So let me start with Osofo.
Yes,
so that the counselor will kill it
yeah,
with the
I know,
techniques.
right? Yeah, so when we say that God has been our foundation, it is not a cliche. It is not just a faith talk. It's a reality. I tell people that one of the things you should pray for is that God will deliver you from you. Because if God is to leave us alone, the extent we can go, even in damaging ourselves, not to talk of damaging others that we love, it's limited. It's limitless.
God should deliver me
from me.
From me.
Yeah. Because when you look in the mirror, I can tell you, you'll be seeing one of your best enemies.
What? So this mirror is broken.
So the enemy is just strolling around. I don't even know where they are going.
You know, so God has been extremely instrumental, and I would be very practical with that. It's not just because we are believers or I'm a pastor, no. God told me one instruction, and I think that will be one of the most difficult assignments He's given to me. God told me that this is my daughter. Love her the way I have loved you. And that was an expensive standard. Because I'm troublesome, God has forgiven me a million times. And His love now becomes my measuring rod. So even before she starts, I know I have to forgive a million times. Because that has been the standard. And this is a person, God picked me up maybe around age 4, thereabouts. When I felt so disappointed, I was blamed wrongly, and all that. And so I know the transition, the extent, the work He's done on me. So the moment He used Himself and His love as the reference point, I knew I was in trouble. But then He also gives grace, so that whatever He's told, so it's been a journey where to reflect His love, you've got to be with Him. So that is one. Number 2, grace. It's been His grace. And I mean, courting for 5.5 years, it's crazy. And to the glory of God, we didn't engage in any intimacy. It's not because I didn't want it, I really wanted. There were times I wanted, she didn't. There were other times she wanted, I didn't. There were other times both of us wanted, God didn't.
I know. Amazing.
You know?
I like that.
So especially when we're so close to marriage, you felt now you're almost there. After holding hands to pray, you realize the connection, the chemistry is different and all that. So if I say that God has been instrumental, it's really practical. And when there are issues, I go for walks and He gives you counsel as to how you should go about. And that is sincerely what has kept us. I can't take credit for what we have become.
Right.
That is purely Him.
Lasting relationships. Yes, my lady.
I just want to add a few. Yeah, so God has been the main factor. And then I believe that from time to time we assess the relationship. We try to see, yes, that, you know, we were in a relationship and then now we entered marriage. We realized that the two are different, you know. So I think when we got married, from time to time we assessed. A little after we got married, he had to go to Bible school. And then I got pregnant, I think the first week or so of Bible school. You understand?
Yes.
So now things were different. It wasn't just the two of us. I gave birth to the first child. He's still in Bible school. It's been a lot. So it wasn't just, you know, the two of us being in a relationship, having fun and all that. So from time to time, we assessed to see how far we've come. Have things gone wrong? Are we doing some things right? And all that. And I think one other thing has been communication. When I realized that probably, you know, my husband is not doing one or two things, we talk about it. And I think one thing we try to do is to settle our issues before we go to bed. Because I tell myself that if I decide not to speak with you, who am I going to talk to? If I have an issue, who am I going to, if we don't take care, we might start confiding in others. So as much as possible, we try to mend the issues very fast. He taught me how to apologize very quickly.
He taught
me. When he does something and I say it, he quickly apologizes. I didn't know how to do that. He actually drew my attention. I would give all the excuses. I would try to defend myself, but he quickly apologizes. So I learned how to do that. In fact, just yesterday morning, something interesting happened. Preparing the kids for school, and I thought he had delayed us and all that. And there's a word I use for our second child. If I unintentionally threw it at him, and he was offended. So when the kids went, I apologized. If I didn't want to mind me. But when I got to the workplace, I sent a voice note again to apologize. And then, so I think that's what has kept us good. Communication and a number, we can't even say it.
Beautiful. Communication.
Very
communication.
Remember,
doesn't know how to talk.
Even good morning crowd say.
Kapu doesn't beat me. Do you get? How can we communicate? We talk, we don't communicate.
Anyway, so with the Love Doctor series, of course, our guests are here. I'm sure they're doing justice to it. You there, you are feeling like getting married, right? Looking at them. But you have to do it the right way. Remember, we're going to be opening phone lines very soon. You can also get engage us. Let's know what is on your mind. If there are questions that you feel like you can call us, let us know. Also, remember that you need to get a book for yourself. February, the 14th. As much as you're buying the flowers, I don't know who uses flowers in Ghana. People do flowers, right? Okay, if you're doing the chocolates and all of that, I want to also recommend this book, right? Choosing the Right Marriage Partner. Choosing the Right Marriage Partner is authored by the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. It's got red flags, green flags, everything that you may need. Of course, also reading with the Bible characters in mind. And so you're able to have the blend in there. And so choosing the right marriage partner, as authored by the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams. You can also do that. Management of conflict, right? I mean, you started talking about it because it's going to happen. These are two different people. It will happen. The question is, apart from, yes, you talk about communication, but I'm looking at the frequency of someone doing the same thing and probably not knowing or knowing. How do you then approach it also, because you know that, but this is becoming too much. And so we've talked about it, you repeat it again. How do people approach this so that it has not become, but maybe you were just intentionally doing this?
I think for everything that is done, the first question I ask myself is, will she do it intentionally? Of course not.
Okay.
So I can promise myself, as for stepping on toes, it's going to be a constant.
Yes.
The only thing is it intentional? So you treat each case on its own merit.
Okay.
That is one, because usually couple would say, the last time you did this and that and that.
Exactly.
And it means you didn't heal from the last one.
Yeah.
But we treat each case on its own merit. If the person is not even, the person is likely not to be conscious that he's doing this. So when attention is drawn, knowing the kind of person she is, she wouldn't be comfortable. You know, she went and still sent a voice note. I knew it would come.
Oh, you knew?
You know, she wouldn't, and some time ago I told her that it looks like I've given you too much power. Okay. Because when I'm going to preach and she's too quiet before I go, on my way I'll be thinking about it. I said, look, you're interfering with the sermon.
Okay.
You know, so
what's wrong with
exactly, yes. So yes. So you realize that yes, from a human perspective, we will definitely hurt one another, but it will not be intentional. With this at the backdrop, you realize that now you address the issue without attaching things to the person. You know the person has a genuine concern for you, but there's an issue. So if it can be resolved, it resolves. If it's beyond the two of you, you commit to prayer and God guides you in the way forward. But so far, I don't think we've gotten to the point where in our work, I've worked with her for 13 years, where we would have to say that it becomes necessary, But we've not gotten there where beyond sitting to talk and praying, we've had to call somebody, a third person, to come and say that, I'm reporting this to you, she's done this. No. In most cases, we sit down, we look at the issue as it is, try to detach it from what has happened in the past. Yes. And then one thing we've also been conscious of is that I'm a pastor, she's a counselor. I may be handling a delicate marriage issue. It's very easy to transfer emotions from my pastoral work into my marital life. Very easy. It's so real.
Yeah.
You know, she may be handling a lady who has been abused by the husband. Subconsciously, she may be envisioning men in that light.
Yes.
So she comes home and without knowing, she's treating her husband with that mindset. So we've had to be cautious of that. You are counseling a gentleman who is broken-hearted, everything is broken, and it's like, I'm telling you, and there's an impression.
Yeah.
You see, so I tell wifey that all men are not the same. We have similar tendencies, but it doesn't mean we would end up the same. All women are not the same. You can't say that all women are lovers of money. No. You can't draw that straight line. You can't draw that straight line. But there is a tendency, there's a natural inclination for a woman to desire a comfortable life, and for that matter, one man. The fact that the tendency is there is not an assumption that this is who the person is. So it's important that wisdom prevails. Treat each case on its own merit and trust God for wisdom. Yeah.
I wanted to come in with the issue of, seeking professional counseling where the need be.
Okay.
You see, sometimes if the couple had sought professional counseling, they would have come to, a certain conclusion about issues that probably they might not have done if they had done it on their own. You see, in counseling, we help couples to understand that we come from different homes, different cultural backgrounds, and even our personalities play a very huge role in the things we do. If you meet a sanguines, probably some of the weaknesses they might have is arranging things and all that, not putting things in that kind of order and all that. If a sanguine meets a melancholic who likes things in a particular order, there will be a lot of conflict. The husband might think that if the husband is the melancholic, he might think the wife is not tidy and all of that. The wife might also not understand why my husband is always complaining I need to do things in a particular order. But when they get to know their different strengths and weaknesses, they try to support each other. Okay, my wife is not too good at arranging. Why don't I come in to help? Maybe while I'm doing it, she might learn. Okay, so my husband is very open. When we go out there, he knows how to make friends and all that. Probably the wife is always, because she's a melancholic, phlegmatic, is, on the introvert side. Now she understanding that my husband naturally knows how to make friends, stands, behind to learn, observe, try to do what the husband does. Instead of always saying that you always leave me behind, you're always chatting with all these ladies and all that. So the personality bit, that is where I think when we are counseling to be couples, we need to bring it in. Our different personalities, we even have personality combinations. We have people who are sanguine, who have a combination of being a sanguine and a phlegmatic at the same time, but in, varying percentages. There are a number of things we need to know because they all play a role in the things we do and don't do in our marriages, and a lot of conflicts result from those. So if the need be, seek professional counseling and then know if there are some things you need to work on.
I see.
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
So we have this perception that people won't change.
Or don't change.
Or people don't change. I think it's a mirage. We react to situations based on how they are. You see, so you would come across, I work with her as a student. It was a different phase of love. Now, children come in. It's a different context. you would come to different settings and different situations, and the reactions may not be the same. So you protect your principles that are core, that are part of your fundamental makeup. And so foundations are important, that this is what we stand for. We did that even before marriage, and it's contributed to a lot that has happened in the marriage. When we're coming in the car, I told her that the way our marriage went, I would not advise anybody to start marital life like that. We got married in September. January, I was in the Bible school. That's not fair. And she was pregnant in February. Yes, February, first week in February, she was pregnant. We've come to a point where she's had to resign from her work because of issues of the kind of children we want to raise. And so a lot has gone in. So you can't be using you spend 5 hours with me campus days to say that why are you not spending 5 hours with me?
Yes, you don't love me
anymore. You have changed. That's an unrealistic expectation. And many people are afraid even to go into marriage because they anticipate some of these things. No. But if your values are very strong and you are building friendship, irrespective of the encounters, the situations, you're able to readjust yourself so that together the cores are kept core, but you attend to the liberals, the changing faces in different ways.
Interesting. The phone lines are still open. I'm guessing maybe he's hitting the point, and so you are just watching. You chalk one and you are watching. That's fine. Family conflicts where you might say, we're having a good ride with ourselves. Then boom, a mother-in-law, a brother-in-law, and all of that comes in. Have you had any experiences? And if you have not, if you have had experiences with some counselees, how have you dealt with that? And what are the situations that have you dealt with it?
In fact, this issue of third parties and marriages, it's one big issue. I've actually had friends, not even counselees, but friends who experience such things at the beginning stages of their marriages. So sometimes we chat with friends and try to get some pieces of advice as to what to do. The point is, marriage is between the two, the couple. The third parties might not even know where the two of you are going, your purposes, what you want, and all that. And so, when they come in, they might be doing things that are not in line, saying things that are not in line with what the two of you want. The two of you always have to come together when you go to the room, speak to each other and, understand the fact that, yes, my sister might not be seeing things the way we see things. So just give room. Okay. You need to have a very big heart if you want to marry. I was telling a friend at work yesterday that before you marry, there are some things you need to project.
Please, keep that projection. Let's go to the phone lines. Please don't forget. Reverend James Okan is calling us. Hi, Rev. It's been a while. You're on air.
Good morning. Good morning. Hope all of us are fine.
Thank God.
Okay, Charlie, your shut that be dangerous. Oh.
It is by the grace of God.
Your dress is powerful. I mean, your like what your coach is also wearing. Very Valentine. It looks very Valentine.
Yeah. I bought it for her actually.
Oh, okay. Yadela.
I bought it for her.
I can see that. That's very powerful. And I want to say a very big thank you to the couple also seated, Osofo and the wife. I mean, a Gaman will say, Ameji Abba. It means that they are looking alike. You can see their dress. I mean, very powerful. I'm really enjoying the setup. Yes, when I just want to touch a little bit on the conflict management. These are realities in marriage that a lot of people don't really pay critical attention to. You realize that, let me use myself as an example, like you always know that I do. When I got married, you realize that a lot of times my wife will have issues with me going out and not calling her when I'm changing location. For example, I tell my wife that I'm going to maybe Spintex. Then the next hour or 2 hours, she calls me and I'm somewhere around Nungwa. issue of communication can easily bring conflict. And one thing I realize is that it's unfortunate that a lot of the counseling we have before marriage, the point where the couple are coming from two separate backgrounds are not really handled. Because you need to understand that you are marrying someone who has been with a certain cultural value for years. You are marrying someone who possibly has lived with their mother and father for 20 years, for 30 years, and may not know the type of training you have. So two imperfect people are coming together. And if you don't understand that, look, my husband is a different person coming from a different background, and my wife is also coming from a different background, you always have issues. One thing I know is that there are 4 stages in conflict management. Not necessarily conflict management, but there are 4 stages, and after that, you realize performing. The first stage is forming, and the formation stage, that is where the man and the woman have come together, they are married. After they are married, there's what we call the storming stage. That is where you need to understand that your husband is coming from a different home, the lady is also coming from a different home. That is the storming stage, and you need to handle that carefully in that you speak to each other, like the pastor said. You speak to each other. You don't call the mother, you don't call the father and say, Mommy, this is what your daughter is doing. I didn't marry this one. This is not what I'm married for. You get it? And after that storming level, if it is handled well, then you get to the place where now you normalize, call it the norming stage, where now I get to know that, oh, Charlie, these are your challenges. This is what you also went through when you were growing up. This is the training you had. We now get to understand each other and not being critical with each other. And after we've now normalized, now we now realize performing. That is when now we enjoy our relationship and all of that. So we need to understand that in conflict management, every partner is coming from a different background. And until that has been understood, we cannot handle conflict in our homes. We cannot handle conflict. So I think that is very, very critical for us to know.
Thank you very much. Reverend James O'Kind is with the Action Chapel International and also a panelist on Just Ask as well. But of course, just laying the same foundation that you were, you know.
Well, conflict resolution and all of that. Like Koku said, he actually just took that question out of my mind, whether, outlaws and in-laws and now even friends.
Yeah.
And phones. Thank you very much. What boundaries, okay, or how then do we set these boundaries so that you're protecting your marriage, but also trying to have a nice relationship out there? How do you manage it so that it doesn't become like, now that you're married, we can't talk to you again, we can't look at you, we have to buy ticket to see you, that kind of thing. Yeah. How do you create that? I think before you come, AC. Good morning, AC.
Good morning.
Great. The counselors are listening. Let's hear.
Okay, so mine is actually a question. Can I go ahead?
Sure. Go ahead. Shoot.
All right. So, I'm married, and then for 2 years now, my husband lost his job, and it's not been easy. I'm working though, but right now as we speak, I think end of January I didn't see my pay, like my monthly cycle. So it looks like, so now I'm confused. I don't really know what to do. Like, I need help. I need advice. Like, we are all okay, but we are like God. We are Christians too. Where do you go from here?
Did I get it right that you lost
her husband lost his job,
but what happened during the January?
She didn't get her salary, so like the regular support for the family in terms of finances is not coming. So she's like, okay, my salary is not coming. You don't have a job, and we're stuck. What do we do?
Okay.
Right.
That's quite an experience. Life comes in different shades and forms. For those of us who, when we are drawing the the line of life, we draw it so straight. I mean, that's just an imagination. So, AC, it's first and foremost, you appreciate that the reality that there's a challenge, but you are in there together. So it's important that you know that you've lost your job. You must not allow it to cause you to lose your marriage. So you are in there, fight together. That is one. That is first, that no matter what, it shouldn't be a double loss. I'm not going to allow my loss of job to cause me to lose my family as well. So protect your family. It's going to be difficult, but at least it starts with purposing that I'm not going to have 2 losses. And that is important. Then secondly, once we are Christians, we need to commit to prayer and be discerning as to the kind of feedback God gives. Many a time we feel we throw our words in the air and then we walk away. But God communicates a lot. So I always say that it's not good enough to be a good Christian. Be an obedient Christian. The question is, what is God saying concerning this matter? And He's not so wicked to be silent. So if you are discerning, you would realize that God is speaking to you as to what to do next in your dreams, through counseling, and so many other venues. There will definitely be a way out that is in the hands of God. Let me just share this. There is this.
Okay, before you share, please don't forget that we'll touch that, because Isaac is calling us from Mampong, right?
Yeah.
Isaac, can you hear us?
Yes, please.
Please, you're on air.
Yes, so I want to ask this question.
Right.
When 2 people are in a relationship, at times they do hide some characters. You understand what I'm saying? Like some characters, they wouldn't show it until they are married. Why? Until they are married. Why? Like they will hide some attitude of them, maybe something you won't know until marriage. Why? I want to know.
Isaac, you will know. Please, before we touch base with that, you can, what you were saying, or I hope you've not lost the thought. Please do.
So all that I'm saying is that let's be discerning and listening to God. When we are too anxious, we don't hear Him clearly. And that's where the issue is. And most of the time, we are so anxious because we are human beings, we are consumed by the situation. But if you know your Father in heaven can do something about it, be calm, find a nice place, quiet, a place of meditation, and go to Him and tell Him that I surrender this case to you, speak to me, and I know that He will come out definitely with what to do.
Amen.
Yeah.
Right, go ahead.
To AC's issue, if you belong to a Christian family, you see, we don't have to go through challenges alone. If you belong to a Christian family and you have a spiritual head, I believe that they need to know what is happening. If you've been committed to church and all that, and they know your husband has lost his job, you go and see your spiritual father, your spiritual mother. I believe they can be of help somehow. Because honestly, marriage, when we enter it, we don't know what is ahead. I always say that it's a journey with a lot of hurdles. We jump one, we meet another. And so we shouldn't enter marriage. Yes, the wedding day, everything looks all rosy. We start looking ahead, thinking everything is going to be fine. Unfortunately, sometimes miscarriages can come in. Pregnancy, you might be expecting, is not happening. Miscarriages, loss of job, some things I've had to go through personally. I never calculated for. When it happens, what do? We are 2 in this, but I believe we are also in a community. We need to call on friends and family, our spiritual heads. Let them know that for us to be in this alone, you as a woman, when finances are not going well, it can hit you hard, especially when there are kids. You need to buy stuff for them. Let us seek the help we need. Yes.
Irene is calling us from Adenta. We'll not forget what Isaac has also said. Why? The why question. Come, Isaac, why? Irene, can you hear us?
Yes, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Oh, I like the voice.
Thank you so much. I'm calling, and mine is just a compliment to the couple.
Yeah.
I think I've known them for some years, and it's such a joy to see what God is doing with them. And so I just called to, encourage them that they should keep doing what you're doing, and they are blessing life. So that's basically why I called. Thank you.
Koku?
Please
so the compliment is for the couple.
I was sharing in it. I thought I could share it. I see. So Isaac's question.
Yeah,
right?
why?
Yeah, the why.
Tell us
people
why.
hiding their characters.
Because I mean, it's you want to answer? Okay. Interestingly, I mean, why not? You know, when people come together in that kind of fixed relationship, that's what you get. That's what you get, because you meet a person, you don't know the person that much, but you've seen something you admire, and therefore you go ahead to propose. So everybody comes on board with his or her best foot forward.
Yes.
And that's what you get. So when you come together, then the things begin to unveil. But if you had built friendship, you wouldn't get to know everything though, but if you had built friendship, some things would have been out even before. So we always encourage that. Start with friendship before even declaring your intentions and all that. Get to know the person. Marriage is a lifelong journey. And you would never know the person enough, but some foundations will come out. So start with friendship. Then when you are convinced in what you are seeing in friendship, then maybe you can take it to the next level. But if you don't, you are in for many surprises.
Pleasant surprises, I think.
Yeah, Kweku's on the line. Kweku, where are you calling us from?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm calling from Katamanso, towards Ashama. Yes. I need but I don't want my dream to die. Okay?
You don't want your dream to die?
The dream the God that gives to me to die. Okay. I'm a gospel musician. So I'm looking for who brings me up to fulfill my dream. Right from childhood. So I try all my best for someone to bring me out. No way. Okay.
Right. We'll pick the number from the back, and then we'll see what we can do, right? We'll see what we can do, right? Okay. So that's Kweku. From Kantigo, right. So I know what men will do in AC's situation, where men become angry. Most men become very angry with themselves. What they also do is that they unconsciously visit it on the woman and the family. Because me in that situation, I'm going to be angry with myself. Why am I doing this to my family, my dependents? But it brings me to more where you started from, the community. The communal spirit is gone. How do we practically live a legacy that goes beyond the church? You pastor a church, and so your immediate family is the church. But there are people who must come in as well, who are looking for help. And it's not necessarily even looking for just some talk. Bro, you're okay. Let's go and eat fufu. After that, figure this out. It's enough, shoulder to lean on. How do we do this practically? Because I'm very interested, because we are just hooked onto the church, the people in the building, and there are people outside who are also looking for help from God and us.
Well,
I hope you got the question.
I got it
right.
right. One thing that I learned back in the ministerial training is that pastoral care doesn't only come from an individual. It is a community of care. And I would want to extend this to even beyond the boundaries of the church. You must have your sphere of influence. You must define your community of care. So there are people God has planted in your life that you need to be conscious of, that these are people that God has planted in our lives. They are within our community of care. They are within our circle of influence that can make impact, make even recommendations for us with respect to other opportunities that may come our way or not.
Yeah, forgive me. We have to cut. Please don't lose that thought. Abigail is calling us from Shashi. All right. I hope I mentioned it well, not in the Everett. Abigail. Abigail, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yes, you're on air.
Phone you.
My phone. Yes, see.
Oh, and my sister.
Yes.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
And my Osofo. You guys are looking very cute. Okay, thank you so much. And you talk of communications, and nowadays what I'm seeing in marriages is that the phone has taken the communication away from us. Yes, and it's very bad. In the case you are lying down with your husband and you are trying to get more attention. That day was maybe his off day, and you are trying to make the day somehow, you understand. But this is how you will be on phone. When you are talking, it's like at times I will shout and say, "Hey, are you hearing me?" Then he said, Then to avoid anger, I have to walk out. And I will be moody the whole day. I can't talk. I will be feeling lonely. Children are not at home. At least they are in school. So before they come, let's do our own things before they come. But we don't get it. We don't get it.
You get it.
So now this has become raw. And some of our men, forgive me, some of our men, they are raw materials before we met them. And when we are trying to put some spices and things to mold them, they feel like we want to control them. But if I'm raw and you want to change something, I have to at least humble myself. Even if I won't take it cry, I have to, you understand. But the phone aspect is very serious. It's very killing now. Both men and women. Some women too are like that. They will keep their husband idle and focus on phone. I don't really know. Me, I'm not a phone freak. Maybe that's why. But it's really disturbing marriages. Please, let's teach. Let's talk more about the phone. Even our children now, if they have their gadgets, we can't discuss with them. And sometimes I put all of them in one corner. I say, put it down. Let's talk. And one day they end up telling me that, it's only you that make the talking. We don't see our father. And I said, okay, make audio and send to him. And they made the audio. And he didn't even mind them. And the problem has become a burden for me. And so please, let's hammer on that side, please. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
I love you too. Alrighty. And so that's it. May God take some of us from raw materials to finished products.
Which means you must allow heat if you want to get cooked, right?
Okay.
And if you're going to be in the rough, you must also allow fire if you want to turn out as gold.
You are attacking me, madam.
No, I'm not attacking. Why do you feel like that?
We are in trouble.
I know. So the phone thing, right? Yeah. That's it. I mean, yeah.
It's challenging.
Yeah, we are reading Bible from the phone. Is the Bible we are reading? No?
Yes, though.
Is the Bible?
Even in church
Right,
now, we don't have. I mean, we're all using our phones and tabs, and then once you're there, your Bible might need an internet connection for some of the verses to come. And then when you put it on, then there's a WhatsApp, that kind of thing.
Even the ads that come.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes. So what do we do? Like AC is saying, since it's a big problem.
Is it the phone issue?
Yes, the phone issue.
Okay. In fact, it's a challenge. My husband was, telling me about it. He was actually complaining somehow, and we had a little argument. I was like,
so you are the phone freak?
In fact,
I was telling him that I was also complaining recently. Sometimes it's unintentional. But you realize that, you've been on your phone for a while. So he mentioned it, and he told me that sometimes when you tell me something, instead of accepting it, I try defending myself. But when we were done talking about it, I just, reflected on what he was saying, and I realized it was true.
I see. We'll come back to you so we can talk about the communal spirit and the men, especially helping men, because they are. But Gifty is calling us from Bordeaux.
Hello.
Hi, Gifty.
Pamacho, good morning.
Good morning.
With the third party coming into our marriage, my parents and also some of the family members from my mother's side, they'll be talking negative about my husband, which I found not comfortable with. So, my training who is free. sometimes we aduane a man bebre man aduane kitwe bi sana me sana me dey wo papa meanwhile na ye me papa na ma sika se me fa ye aduane ma me kunu me kunu na yi ni sika obre na odi be fie nti ni na atena na me ni mesi ote so I say me dey dili e wo kwan ye ono ebe ye ne fe anase asita ne be ye de enya wudi na wo ye wa wari ase no na wo be impose ye wo me so say me fa ye me kunu sa baby and me mami on ma me kunu respect nti de bia me kunu no okasa e wo sa de no ho nti sanya manyama ni nti no ma wo almost get to 4 months bra on ba high because of sanya manade nti on ni akasa manti na nyama bebre ebi de ebe ye djuma wo wa wa mu na ebia na me ampoa me na ma wa wi akwa kogu nti ni frɛ na matu me fukakra wo sa de no say ma twen me ho afi omo ho no because the negativity is too much. Indeed. And the man can't me boa tina me frɛ mo no any advice for
yeah, that's so what the counselors are ready. Masumpa.
Yes, so we're talking about the third party issue, and then
specifically to
I was even mentioning the fact that we need to project these things happening. When you marry, you need to understand that you've married into a family. It's not just your husband you are going to deal with. You must accommodate the family members. It's not easy because they have a way they do things. They have a way of speaking. Maybe in my home, when my daddy wants to say something, he will call me, sit me down, talk. But probably my husband's side, they just throw the word and then that's it. So when your husband's family comes around, you're uncomfortable. You need to project these things happening. You need to understand that I'm going into a family where things are done differently and I need to adjust. It's not a comfortable thing, but when you project it, when you get there, you learn how to. And I realize that most of the time, we react very harshly when, other family members are coming in. We need to really sometimes be very patient and calm. Otherwise, we mar a lot of relations. When we marry, we are not like our sister who called in. Not, relating very well with mommy because every time there's a banter. Sometimes you need to listen to what mommy is saying. Maybe not disagree, but you give your husband the quantity you would give. She has said her own. You can make a joke out of it. Find a way to make sure that, yes, I'm married. My mommy is making suggestions, but I'm not going to let this destroy our relationship. I can always go back to my mom because when I deliver, I need her. So yes, I'm married. Someone else has come into my life, but she's been my mom since. She's not perfect. So yes, okay, sometimes when she talks, you make a joke and then you still go and give your husband the quantity he needs. And then when sisters come in saying all sorts of things, we need to be patient first of all. And then sometimes, yes, there might be arguments and all that, but find a way to mend the relationship because mind you, when things happen, our family members will be the first to be at our beck and call. So let's be very mindful how we treat relations, ours and that of our spouses.
I see.
Yes,
the open disrespect, that part, when it gets to that part where men, I'm looking at my mother-in-law throwing words at me, I can hear her throwing words at me on my wife's phone. That's not too pleasant. What do I do?
So, for me, the first that comes to mind is that the one whose side the relative is on has a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
So if the feedback is coming from my mother, I need to manage the situation in a way that she wouldn't even come in so much to even have to even defend herself, whilst also not losing that relationship with my mother. Because, you shouldn't be surprised. You've lived with your mom all these years. There are some things I can easily anticipate. And my wife's father is a very calm, quiet. I love that man. When he blinks, you will understand.
Okay.
That's where she's coming from. I'm coming from a point where single parenting, mommy has to shout on 3 boys, else there will be no discipline. So what I call discipline is different from what she calls discipline. So when my mom is speaking to me, I understand where she's coming from. So you, the one on whose side the relative is coming from, the onus lies on you to learn how to manage the situation in a way that it doesn't affect. So she does a lot of complimenting me to her family.
Okay.
You see, so even if they don't see me, when they see me, she's painted a kind of image that is helping. I've also had to do that at the other end. So irrespective of what is happening, the one on whose side the relative is on, I believe you have an assignment to perform.
Let's pick our final call and pick your last words, shall we? Leonard is calling us from Kumasi. Leonard, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I want to thank you for this program, and I think it's really inspiring. I just something from your conversation about accommodating the family. Okay, but there's this school of thought also that when you allow the family too much into your marriage, there is some disruption. So I want you to clarify to what extent do you accommodate to the family? Because no marriage is a thing between the man and the woman. Fine, they can't move alone, but we need the help of others in terms of counseling and other stuff. But to what extent, to what limit do you accommodate the family? Yes. To what extent do you accommodate your family and people, your spiritual fathers and others, to ensure that it doesn't really eat too much into your journey or it arrests them? Thank you very much.
Maybe you want to do that finally and then out.
So in accommodating, I would say that we can talk about it physically and then, let me say, non-physically. Well, physically, you can't draw the lines. You know, there might be times where family necessarily have to come around. Sometimes when we're about to marry, we have to leave and cleave and all that. But the wife gives birth. The husband knows that there's little I can do to help. Mother-in-law has to come around to assist my wife, like 3 months plus and all that, So physically, there might be times, family would necessarily be around. Nonetheless, let me say that we draw the lines, let's say, in terms of how much they influence the marriage. The mother-in-law can be around, all right, but we need to find a way to guard the union in such a way that she doesn't have so much influence. So in terms of sometimes we say we don't have to allow our family members in the home too much and all that. There are times you can't control that. Okay. In times where you can control, it's fine. But there are times you necessarily need them around. But even in they coming around and all that, you need to find a way to guard the union. I always say that when you go indoors, you need to sometimes mend certain things. Where mother is, let's say, cooking all the meals. I know a home where the mother-in-law does all the cooking, does a whole lot.
What's she doing?
And sometimes, you even wonder how sometimes all these happen. But when you go indoors, you need to talk things over. That's where the communication comes in. Where, yes, your mom told you this and that, but I think, between the two of us, let us do it this way and that. So the communication, that's very important.
Right. God's daily touch.
Devotional?
Yeah. Talk to me about it. 180 days, 6 months devotional guide. Wow.
All right. Thank you very much for the opportunity. By the grace of God, one of the blessings God has given to me is the opportunity to write and to share His wisdom to others. This became a difficulty because it's one thing writing an individual book and another thing writing a devotional. They are two different. This puts a lot of demand on you, but God has given the grace. And the reason is that we need God on a daily basis.
Indeed.
It's an emergency, it's an urgency. But many of us do not know how to go about even our daily dialogue with God. So these have been carefully put together.
Yeah. What day are we? What day is
Okay. So the good news with this is that just to help you with questions like this, this does not begin from January.
Oh, I see.
So
I can pick it any day.
Any day and you start.
Senior, I'm starting.
You can pick it any day and you start. And this is the Victory Edition.
Okay.
And yeah, so you are dealing with how to maintain your joy in the midst of adversity.
Okay.
It's a whole series. So it's not like scattered lessons. Each one, every month takes a whole series.
Okay.
of reflection.
Okay.
So there's a month that covers overcoming temptations, overcoming trials,
We need that in
overcoming
February.
oppressions. Yeah. Okay, fulfilling your divine assignment.
So the short code is on the screen. Please get the short code and make sure you get one for yourself. How much is a copy?
So a copy is just 50 CDs.
Oh, just 50, 50.
Yeah, and there is an electronic, there's the ebook as well.
Ebook as well, right? Please do
Ebook,
so.
yeah, so on our
that's the
website.
short code as well. Your website is where?
So for the short code, if you want either the hard copy or the ebook, you can easily choose whichever.
Yes. You want.
The ebook is just 30 CDs.
Right, right. Grateful to you, Pastor Carl Basiesel, of course, Counselor Basilia.
Basie and Basilia.
Yeah,
interesting, isn't it?
His names.
It's like God that
Fanti.
put two together. Like,
you know, right?
fancy.
I know.
Fanciful.
And that's why they are demure. Very demure.
What the glasses? No, shake glasses. Shake glasses.
But of course, we thank them. God bless you so very much. May He replenish your loss. And of course, remember that the book you need to get for your partner, it should be part of the hamper, all right? It's also choosing the right marriage partner, right? It should be part of the hamper, this time. It's authored by the Archbishop. There you go. I've read this book, not because it's from the Archbishop, but I've read it. I know what is in there. Get it for someone who is getting ready to get married or just seen a lady. Well, let's get ready to have a conversation on money and marriage and every other thing that's beside it. Stay with us.
Some Duke on the vibe.
This year, blessing, money, testimony. Go to follow, you they go.
This year, good news, giant, plenty money. Go to follow, you they go.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life.
Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, you don't fit for your hand. Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, fit for your hand. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Blessing, money, testimony. Go to follow, you they go.
Some Duke on the vibe.
This year, blessing, money, testimony. Go to follow, you they go.
This year, good news, giant, plenty money. Go to follow, you they go.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life.
Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, you don't fit for your hand. Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, fit for your hand. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life.
This year, good news, Go they follow, 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 you they go.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
Everything you be wanting, manifesting for your life.
Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, you don't fit for your hand. Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, fit for your hand. Everything I be wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you be wanting, manifesting for your life. Everything I be wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you be wanting, manifesting for you. Money, testimony. Go to follow, 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 you they go.
This year, good news, giant plenty balling. Go they follow, 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 you they go.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
Everything you be wanting, manifesting for your life.
Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, you don't fit for your hand. Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, fit for your hand. Everything I be wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you be wanting, manifesting for your life. Everything I be wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you be wanting, manifesting for you. Money, testimony. Go to follow, 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 you they go.
This year, good news, giant plenty balling. Go they follow, 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 you they go.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
Everything you be wanting, manifesting for your life.
Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, you don't fit for your hand. Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa is too shy, fit for your hand. Everything I be wanting, manifesting for my life.
Welcome back to the show. We're grateful. Thank you very much indeed. This is Wake Up Africa. We're grateful that you can share your company with us. Away from that conversation, let's now get into money mistakes, shall we? And our guest, Nelson Semanu Gwando Koko, joins us in the studio as always. He's a money man. He's president of Financial Evangelism Ministries. He teaches people money and how to use it right and how to use it right indeed, right? You don't have to get money. It has to impact everyone, most especially the kingdom. That's where it comes from. Money mistakes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's good to have you. You're in
Thank
white.
you very
You're in
much.
white. Have you gotten an appointment?
No,
Not
white
yet.
is my favorite color. I
Oh,
always
yeah.
love to be in white.
Black is
Let your
mine.
garment always be white.
Black
So
is
say the
mine.
scriptures. Okay.
Okay. The scripture didn't say anything about
No, you
black.
could also find your own scripture as well.
Okay, I'll do
It
that.
doesn't matter.
I'll do
Imagine that scripture.
But of course, thank you very much for coming through. Money mistakes.
Yes.
Most of us, we're still making the mistakes. Tell us, where do we start from?
Okay, so I want to start by, I like laying the rules so that in case somebody has an argument, they can play the cards well.
Okay.
So we want to talk about money, and the emphasis is not so much on the quantity of money. So the mistakes you're going to talk about today will apply both to those who earn the millions and those who earn the hundreds, as well as the thousands. So with that rule, I want to say that money mistakes apply to everyone. Everyone makes these mistakes. However, the effect of the mistakes that people make, that is what makes a discussion like this very, very important.
Okay.
Yeah, so somebody who's earning a meager salary can make those mistakes. Somebody who is also earning so much could also make a mistake like that. But the thing also is that when you make certain mistakes, that you can correct them. But when it comes to money, the mistakes can be very devastating. Yes, and that is why it's important for us to look at the subject of money. I stated earlier on here that one of the things about money is to study the behavior of money, how money behaves, and that will help you in a way of also avoiding the mistakes.
I see. Well, one thing you need to know is that Money Mistakes is a book that Mr. Semanu has, and so it's something that after this discussion you'd realize that, oh, I need to get that book, so that becomes a guiding light, right? So we went to the streets and we asked the question, what are some of the money mistakes? If you have yours, you can actually send it to us on our socials, right? You can just send us a text or something like that. And they'll be sure to read it. But let's hit the streets and then find out what people think is their money mistakes.
My name is Efia.
My name is Ali Daniel.
I'm Rahel.
I'm Omar Solomon.
My name is Hope Sherifa.
My name is Nathan Nesiduado.
Regina Tete. I'm Judith. Umar Nabilot. Okay, so a financial mistake I've made that I think I'll never repeat is buying things I've not planned for. I've gone to the market, let's say I've planned to buy foodstuffs. Then I go, I see a nice dress that I think I like and all that, then I'll buy it, but I've not planned for it. I think it's wasted of money.
Hey, this matter. I remembered back in uni, they gave me my school fees. The way I was on fire, they gave me my school fees to go and pay, and I don't know if it was some spirit or what that motivated me that I can win this bet. And I went to stake all of it on this bet. Hey, Charlie, I almost died. Seriously. Later on, everything cast, Charlie, and I lost all my money. I had to figure out how to pay my school fees.
So I got stung by this week vendor, like payment before delivery, but after the payment, the week never came.
I gave my money to my girlfriend, and later found out that she gave it to another guy. So I think I'm not going to repeat this one again.
The mistake I've made financially is paying for goods which I've not yet received. So I buy something online, then I pay for it without receiving it. Sometimes they end up not giving me the goods. Yeah, and it's really hurtful. Yeah.
I ordered for a product online, and then I was to make the payment before delivery. So after making the payment, the product was never delivered, and then I never heard from the vendor again. So I don't believe in investment stuff then.
I got scammed by someone online. The person was selling a business proposal to me, and the person told me that I have to invest some amount of money. I think it was 170 cedis or so. No, 200 cedis, sorry. Yeah. And when I sent it to the person, I tried to reach the person. The person told me that he's doing something at the moment, so he'll come back to me. And the next day, I reached out to the person again, and later I got to find out that the person wasn't coming online, so now I'm vigilant.
Okay, it's about BO business that I invested a lot of money inside, but it didn't go well as I planned. That's
Spending money unwisely, like on material things. Yeah. The last time I was at home and then someone texted me that money waves or something. I'll send 100 cedis and I'll get 200 cedis. I did that, but the money never came. So I'll never do that again. Even if it's real crown.
Hey.
Right, so even if it's true, she would not do it. What are some of the things that you have gone through? You realize, no, that was terrible. Ponzi schemes, right? And all of that. Anyway, share with us on our socials so that we'll be sure to read them. So, Mr. Semanu, there you go. These are the youth of our future leaders are telling us that they buy wig I'm guilty as charged. I mean, when I see a green shoe at the mall and I'm supposed to meet Koku with 5,000, by the time I meet him, 500 Ghana is gone because yes, because he has to buy a green shoe. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So these are some of the things that people think are their money mistakes, right? How do we correct that? First off, with the Ponzi thingy. Because we hear that we have to invest.
Yes.
Is that not it?
Yeah,
so
right.
what are some of the things that we need to look at so that we're able to tell, no, this, don't even start it.
Okay.
Don't put your money in there, right? Yeah.
Okay, so the first most important thing when it comes to money is knowledge. When you understand how money works, the idea of a Ponzi scheme will not even get close to you. It will not even occur in your mind.
Right.
So money by nature works on a gradual move. You gather it little by little. So there is no way somebody can come to you and tell you that bring 100 cedis in a week time, I'll give you 200 cedis, and you'll believe it. That becomes kind of a get-rich quick scheme. You may get it, but it cannot be sustained. Yes. So I want to talk about financial ignorance. It's the basics of all our financial struggles and problems. Every individual must take it upon himself or herself to be able to understand and study money. So for instance, what is inflation? How does inflation affect what I eat at home? The school fees I paid, my car, other things that I do. When you understand the basic rule of inflation, it helps you know when to save money and then when to invest money. It also guides you on what kind of investment you will make, because you are going to know how much you're going to get from that investment vis-a-vis the inflation. Inflation is, basically what is eating away your money over a period of time. So it helps you to understand that. Then again, you look at something like a GDP. I know that most people will not bother themselves about this, but the GDP of a country tells you the value of the country in which you are and the country's ability to turn things around to make economic life easy for everyone. So if you are living in a country that has a very high GDP, or what we call the developed economies, the way you play your games economically is different from when you live in a country like Ghana, where you always have a budget deficit. Budget deficit simply means that you are in your house with your wife and your children, but you can't take care of yourself well. So every month or every 6 months, some uncle somewhere has to send money to buy gas. You see, it doesn't look nice. It doesn't sound nice. But that's what happens to a country. So the GDP, the budget deficit, these things, inflation, they help you to understand how you manage your money. So if somebody says, come and put your 50,000 cedis for 6 months, I will give you this return. Already you understand what inflation is. You know the current value of inflation. You know how the prices of items are moving and changing over a period of time. So you'll be able to know, do I send this money there, or probably I'll go and use that money to buy some land or maybe invest it in some business that over a period of time can help me. So the most important thing is financial knowledge. It positions you to understand the behavior of money, and it helps you to reduce the value, the amount of mistakes that you make over time. If you see anyone who has made any serious money mistake or mess up with their money, one of the root causes has been with not understanding the behavior of money.
I see. That's great. The behavior of money.
The issue of budgets, deficits, or let's come back to the home where your responsibilities are more than your income, the flow of income. And so your inability to save is a challenge. So you have to fall on a lot of things where probably that are not part of it. How do you begin to, and you can also check these responsibilities, probably your mom or your parents have become your responsibility. Then you have your immediate, then you probably also have friends who just don't have it. And so you cannot save, you have to spend. That's necessary, right?
Yes. So you see, Koku, the subject of money demands that you are at every point of time you should be able to balance both your income and your expenditure.
Balance?
Yes. This is something you must do almost every time. Yes, because it guides you on how you spend money, it guides you on how you make money. If you are taking a salary of, let's say, 5,000 Ghana cedis, and then you are complaining that my salary is not always enough, I have to give something to my parents, I have to take care of myself, I have to support my girlfriend or my boyfriend or whatever it is, you see, your life should be able to revolve around the 5,000 that you are earning. You either try to live within the 5,000 or
you make more.
You make extra income. Now, Koku, there is always a problem about making extra income. Then there is also a problem about cutting down expenditure. It's very difficult to cut down expenditure for most people. But it is the two things that can solve this problem of not having enough. You should always streamline your expenses in terms of what you are spending on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis. Then consistently, you should also be looking out for ideas of what else can I do per my current work schedule to be able to earn more? Can I do something online? Can I cut down some of the expenses that I currently have to make life easy for myself? I know these things are difficult, so for most people, they'll try to be managing it like that under that financial pressure over a period of time. And the pressure over a period of time is not good for you, emotionally, mentally. So you should be able to sit. If you are a married person, you sit with your husband or your wife, you look at the expenses, you look at the income sources, then you devise means of doing it. When you do this, you will get ideas. That will change the equation.
I see. My next question before Piadela, the issue of shelter and accommodation. Where you find a lot of people now aging, getting to a point before they build. I remember having this strong argument with a friend of mine. Now, you are nearing retirement before you start building.
Yes.
I call it a money mistake. Help us through that point.
All right. Okay. So one of the money mistakes people make is that they don't plan for their retirement early enough.
Oh yeah, right.
Some don't even plan for it at all. Planning for retirement basically means putting in systems in place to ensure that when you stop actively working, you can live a very comfortable life. The idea of building, for me, I think that it should be something that should be considered right from the first day you start work.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There are lands at various locations that you may not need to earn 50,000 Ghana cedis before you can buy. And these are places that over a period of 5 to 10 years would develop. And the interesting thing is that most of these real estate companies, credible ones of course, have payment systems up to from 3 months, 6 months, a year, some even 24 months, that you pay something every month. And in 2 years' time, you have your land. Didn't the Bible say that a house is built by wisdom? So you don't even need so much money to be able to build a house. There are people in Accra here who are owning houses. Meanwhile, the money they earn is even much smaller than those who earn a lot and they don't even have a plot of land. So you don't need to wait till you're going to retirement before you say, I'm going to build, or probably even buy a land. The first day you start working, you seek professional advice on how you can save and make investment towards that day when you will no longer have the energy and the strength and the ability to be moving up and down to work. Someone said that if you don't plan to solve your money problems, you may have to work until you die. So the thing should start right early enough. And for parents who are watching us, you should be able to start educating your children about money from a very young age, so they know how to take care of it, and then vis-a-vis how to start planning long term. It will be very disheartening to say that I've been working in Accra for the past 20 years and I don't have a plot of land. Yes, that will not be a good news at all. And no amount of explanations and excuses can suffice. I don't earn much. I have a lot of family members to take care of. No. Whatever you want to do, the money is yours. Whatever you want to do, you can do it.
It hit hard, really. It hit hard because if you were just doing, let's say you start work around 26, and you know that in 10 years' time, you'd want to move into your house. Where you are even buying the land from might not be that developed, but in 10 years' time, it will be developed. You can start
10 years' time may even be too long.
Right. It hit hard. Like this hit hard. No, it hit hard. No, it has to be said. It hit hard.
It's home. Well, but let's get into marriage now. There's a new couple and they want to get their finances right, what are some of the money decisions they have to start to make from the get-go?
Okay. So for a new couple who have just started life, I think that's a very good point to start talking about finances. You have to, first of all, look at the subject of income.
Okay.
What is a man doing to earn money? What is a woman doing to earn money? What can the man do in 3 years to double his income? What can the woman do in the next 1 year to probably triple or double her income?
Why is the woman's own 1 year and the man's own 3 years?
It's just an example.
You
see. That's just an
Change
example.
it.
So, you see, the point is, if you don't make strategic decisions when it comes to how much you earn over a period of time, you can work in an organization for 10 years and you'll be earning almost the same budget or a salary increment at the pace of a snail.
Right.
So the two people involved must know that, no, this marriage journey we have started, one of the deciding factors is going to be cash flow. So what can I do? Do I need to go back to school? Do I need to go and learn a trade? Do I need to learn a new skill? So this must be discussed at the beginning of the marriage. After this has been done, the next thing is consistent and regular financial reviews.
Review?
Yes. It would be nice for a husband and wife to sit down at the end of every week or every month and ask questions on how we have spent money throughout the months. We don't do this. So usually what happens is that the wife gets to know that, hey, this is what my husband has been doing. And he always behaves like he doesn't have money. Hey, so he goes to funerals and then he gives all these donations. Hey, he has these side chicks, he has been giving 500 cities, 1,000 cities every month. Hey, then he becomes surprised. But when you do these reviews often, it exposes all these.
Right.
And this is very practical. It can be done. Like I said, it's not about the amount of money you earn. As simple as me, but you have conversations. You know, expenses. So number one, I said there's a need to look at income, how much both of you are earning. Number two, put in systems to review your expenses often. The review will help you to make the necessary adjustment. So you have a wife who loves to buy. She will buy, she will change the wigs every month. She will change this one, she will change that one. And the wigs, she goes for the very expensive ones. She doesn't even look at the size of a packet, or maybe the size of the husband's packet. So discussions will bring out solutions to solving this. What I realize that in most marriages, there's always the idea of, you're busy. So people don't want to sit down and talk and discuss anything. But when the thing hits hard, people start complaining. So I advocate that there must be regular reviews of how much are you earning, how did you spend it. I don't think this should be difficult to do. Della?
Well, that's nice. So that's before children come in, right?
Yes.
What kind of money decisions can couples make before their children come? What kind of investments can they do before kids come? Also because kids are expensive.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't plan for it.
Yes.
And all of that. What kind of plans can they have?
Good. I will advise everyone watching us. That is why we have the professionals. My wife always tells me that I like consulting professionals and always talking about professionals. You see, we have insurance companies who have specialized, tailored schemes that will cater for your children's education. Excuse me, tomorrow if you are not around. We should go to their offices and engage them in a hearty conversation. This is my age. I'm believing God for a child, or I have a child already, it's at this age. There are a lot of them. Enterprise, Prudential, Glyco, they are there.
We'll give you invoice.
Yes, so for the bullion.
So you need to talk to them and they will help you out. So the issues with even the school fees and health
doesn't become a problem.
It doesn't become a problem. When your child is going to the hospital, they just carry the card. Because the hospital, they won't have mercy on you if you tell them that, oh, my child is a very handsome child.
And
Please, it's not, I'm a Christian, also I pray in the Holy Ghost. Please take care of him for me. I'll come back and then, doctor, please look at the severity of the situation and do something about it. They will say you have to pay. But there are private insurance packages from these insurance companies that you can do to cover your family and yourself. For those who work in organizations that sometimes organizations are able to also come out with these things where the individual workers have their cards and then they can use it. You just pay something small every month. Apart from insurance company, you have investment banks. Okay, to avoid getting invoice on Cocoa, I wouldn't want to mention example. We
Please
have a lot
don't.
Of these, investment banks also. Investment banks, or sometimes we call them asset managers. You know, those who manage the mutual funds and the unit trust and things. they also have some of these schemes that you can invest in a unit trust or a mutual fund for 5 years. And that money will be enough to take care of your children when they are entering the university.
Right.
Yeah. You know, that's why I started by saying that the subject of money has to do with knowledge. If your knowledge is weak, you always be hitting the wall. And you always be crying, you always be under a lot of pressure. Yeah. So there are these a few of the things that I think.
I love them.
So I think we should talk to that lady, an insurance broker, who says that the advice actually is for free.
Oh.
I never knew.
That's true.
I never knew. So we should be able to, I know a contact who should be able to get, because they will advise you on what to do so that you don't go into the hands of very wicked guys who would keep tossing you. So they break all of these down for you. So we'll have to talk to them.
Yeah, and some of the interesting things are some of those schemes, you can even actually look at an amount you are envisaging in 10 years. And they will let you know how much you should be contributing monthly to be able to. So it makes the whole work easier. Yes, to talk to them and get advice from them.
I see. Right. The issue of Kingdom Finance series is going to be starting every Wednesday. So you're going to be seeing this very handsome face with us all the time. So please make sure. There are books as well that which ones are available now at the front desk?
So we have money mistakes, the top 21 money mistakes.
Is that it?
Yes,
you can show
it.
it.
Everyone must avoid it.
Is that the front desk of Dominion TV? And so if you come here, you get it. Please get a. One day you realize that all the problems you have been facing, the solutions are just in a book.
Yeah.
That's when we start crying. So please, top 21 money mistakes everyone must avoid in life. Not only is it written by a man, it's written by a man and a woman who the woman has chartered as an accountant. And so you can understand that these things are from well-informed positions, and so to help you indeed. Well, the issue, again, let me go back to house. There's something that people in the West who probably, the people we are learning from, so you see them growing, they don't build, or even if they build, by the time the children grow, they sell it, go rent, and leave it there. And is it normal with them, or is just things I see in the movies?
Okay, as in
so you find a family
yes,
who probably got a house for themselves. They give birth. By the time the children are growing, they sell that house. If it is a 4-bedroom, they go into a 2-bedroom house or a 1-bedroom house, because then it becomes just a man and a wife and whatever. Whereas for us, it's the other way around. We rent. When everybody is gone, that's when we're going to build. And yes, the two of us are in there, old people.
Yes. Your observation is right. So it's in the Western world, in other developed economies, but I think it's gradually truncating down to.
Okay.
Yes, I met a 60-year-old insurance man, and he was complaining to me that he regretted building a big house. Yes, because his children are now aged, they are all old, and everybody's living home. And it's now he himself and the wife. So it's a changing trend. It means that if you are considering building a bigger house, you may be doing that as a donation to the family, not really to prove a point to anyone.
That's right.
And so that the people you are even building for may not even live in it. Or except maybe you want to build a big house for yourself and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Your grandchildren.
Because these children will grow and they will even realize that, they will be asking this, so daddy built it. Which architect work on this building for daddy? How can he design something like this? Because my times have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Very interesting. Any final words before we leave?
Final words?
Yes, my final words are Hosea chapter 4, verse 6.
Preach.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 5.
Preach.
Knowledge is the key to reigning and succeeding in life. Even in spiritual warfare, you don't meet the devil by the power and the volume of your tongues. It is the knowledge you have. So learn about money. You can go on YouTube, the videos are there, plenty. You can get books to read. Pay money to attend financial seminars and courses. It will put you on a powerful pedestal to be able to take charge of your finances. no matter how much you earn. Thank you.
Right. No matter how much you earn, you can still create a beautiful future for yourself. Look, let's meet at the top where we don't have to ask for the cost of everything and we actually have enough, to give around and also have enough to support the kingdom. Remember, the kingdom is our premium goal. So don't go around making money mistakes. You should actually try to save all of that and save some money and then make your life look really good, right? Yeah, right.
Before we take leave of you, there is a man who thought we don't know. God reveals. The Holy Spirit has revealed. So Frank of our sound department is celebrating his birthday today. And so if you thought we didn't know, you have thought it.
Yes.
And so that's Frank. Frank is celebrating his birthday today.
Go, Frankie.
Happy birthday, Frank.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. And
now Frank Mautis who a picture anyway.
Yes. He's pretending to be doing camera, but he does sound. So Frank. Alrighty. So happy birthday to you. And so enjoy your life. We wish you all the best. We love you so much.
Frank, do party.
And
that is not
for being part of the team.
We should be cutting cake.
Virtual cake.
There's virtual cake. We send it by WhatsApp.
Guys, thank you very much for making time. Of course, thank you very much, sir, for coming through as always. Every Wednesday, you get these Kingdom Financial series right here on Dominion TV. We're back to do it all over again tomorrow. My name is Koku Lumo.
And my name is Biadola. Achomi Adogo.
Adogo Cho.
Some Duke on the vibe.
This year, blessing, money, testimony. Go to follow, you they go.
This year, good news, giant plenty ball. Follow, you they